Chastity, the social media influencer and rockstar killer. Maria, from Miami. And Lucy, aspiring actress. Sydney, hip-hop lover and writer, so I'm told. And my quiet one, Mackenzie. Well, hello, ladies. I'm Bella. I have a question for everyone. Why do you think rich men cheat? Control.
I'm going home.
Don't go.
Attention.
You bring the total package to the table. You just need the right friends.
Are you my friend?
No, but you can be mine.
And power.
I stuck my neck out for you.
Thank you!
And I pulled the strings to get you onto this show.
Take all three away, and he becomes desperate.
So, what's with the apples?
Well, it represents knowledge, wisdom, beauty, and power. Here, you will learn how to gain ownership of all.
I'm gonna send you the money for the ticket, and I already have your room set up at the Palms.
You do that, babe.
Because once you have possession of the apple, no man alive will have power over you.
You make it sound so easy.
Oh, it's not easy.
Brett, look, I'm sorry.
Save it! Save it!
I get no auditions.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
I get no callbacks.
I really need to get upstairs. They stole all my money.
I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you're no better than the rest of us.
Right now they have a do not disturb until this afternoon. If they call you, great.
How is he gonna call me if he doesn't?
If not, charge it to the game.
Make no mistake, ladies. In order to succeed in this game, you must be willing to play it out till the very end.
This business is all types of savage. What are you doing?
But if you follow my blueprints, I guarantee you will become a millionaire within the next 3 years. Possibly way earlier. So, are you ready to take that step?
Another day, another dollar. Ain't about money, don't you holla. 100 miles and racing, and that money conversation be my only motivation, yeah.
Up, y'all, this is Rayon Lawrence, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Catherine Nunez, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director and the Council on the IE Network.
Real Talk.
Hey, I'm Gina Lou, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's Logan Browning, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Real Talk.
Hi, this is Alana De La Garza, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, I'm Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. You're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, this is Monique Dupree, and you are watching Real Talk with the Director on Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, I'm Stormy Maya, and you are listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
It's Vicky Judy, Orange is the New Black, and I'm here with Real Talk.
Yo, what up? This is Jay Ellis, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio. Keep it locked.
Hi, I'm Frida Parks, and you're listening to Real Talk Radio with the Director. Hey, I'm Issa Rae, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Nothing more, nothing less. What's going on? Welcome to another edition of Real Talk and the Jedi Council and the Director. I am the Director. I'll be with you for the next 120 minutes or so. Real Talk's brought to you each and every Monday by B2S Media. We broadcast live via the World Wide Web on youtube.com/IE Network TV. And of course, Facebook, aka Meta, and Twitter. Oh, April, as the first quarter flies by. Wanted to we're now in April 3rd, Monday. And yeah, man, we're on another edition. We're on another one. What's up, people? Shout out to everyone in the chat room. Big up too. We just got the approval from the admin over at Black Independent Web Series and Filmmakers Group on Facebook. So shout out to them. Appreciate you over there, admin, for letting us share our show with you and your audience. We appreciate that. Make sure y'all drop in, man. Come through, come into the chat room, say what up. If you want to come on speaker or come on camera, come up on the panel and say what up. It's all good. Shout out to the chat room once again. Joseph Tanner, you always holding it down. Everybody else that's in there and coming through and on their way through. That's what's up. Yeah, cool show tonight. We're just gonna talk a little bit about. So a couple of new trailers have dropped. You have a DCU trailer, and you have a MCU trailer that just dropped. We want to kind of talk about real quick who had the better trailer. What do y'all think? The DC's trailer was for Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle, and they played that. And for the Marvel trailer is for Secret Invasion. Who do you think had the better trailer? I mean, Secret Invasion is a show. It's a TV series that will be airing on Disney Plus. Obviously, Blue Beetle is a movie. It's a feature film that's going to be in IMAX in all theaters. So, but I have an interesting take on that. Also, we've been covering the Jonathan Majors thing. Nothing too major, pun intended, happened, but I think something interesting happened. So the lawyer who's on this long quest to prove that his client, he or she, I don't know if it's a he or she, but that their client is innocent, of course, and not guilty, whatever you call it. And they've been talking about this. They've been talking about the video and witnesses. All of that will collide, and plus the witness taking back her statement, retracting the statement. Now, the latest development is they have released text messages that was sent to, I believe, from her to Jonathan Majors. And in my opinion, that was a mistake. I don't think they should have did that. Don't release the text messages, because I read the text messages. It's public record. You can go and see it. And they released it out there to the public. To me, it doesn't really support it doesn't support in Jonathan's favor, so to speak. Meaning, it doesn't destroy the case by no means. But to me, it doesn't really help the case, because it's just purely her texting him like any other person does after an argument and or a fight, allegedly, or a lover's quarrel, whatever you want to call it. That's usually what people do. They text you and they're blowing your text up, and they're saying sorry, and they're saying I love you, and they're saying, oh, trying to make it right. I didn't tell him nothing. That's just like say I didn't tell him nothing. I didn't say nothing. I didn't tell him nothing. And I'm like, I didn't think that was a good idea to release those text messages. That didn't really help him, in my opinion, because it just looks like someone is in a relationship, they got into a fight. So I don't know if that really helped his case. I'm not saying it hurt it, but it definitely didn't help it. And if it doesn't help, why use it? The bottom line is I'm starting to get a little nervous. And I'll tell you why. Because nervous meaning I am pulling for Jonathan Majors, hoping not that I'm going against anyone. If in fact this happened, then whatever he gets, right? I'm hoping it's not true. And with that being said, I feel a little nervous because um they've been talking all this stuff about proof, witness, video footage. Look, how long is it gonna take you to get this video footage? TMZ don't even take this long. TMZ get it right away because they start putting some bread out, and next thing you know, they got it. So, uh, you putting everything but the tape out. Now you're putting out some. First, you put out where she supposedly redacted the statement. Now you're putting out a what you call it, the text messages. You know what? I should have thought about this before. We need to get our boy back on here. He's kind of like our legal expert. He's not a lawyer, but he is in law enforcement. He's been in law enforcement for years. We got to get my man back up here. And we had him up here with the Rich Kenny. We had him up here with the talking about the Alec Baldwin case. I'm gonna have to get him up here and get his thoughts on this because I trust Rich Kenny. He's not gonna say nothing that is like wrong. He's gonna give his opinion and what he knows about the law, which is a lot. He's been in law enforcement for a long time. I should have brought him up here tonight, but we'll have to probably get him up here another night. But shout out to Rich Kenny, man. Be dope to have you come up here and give us your take on this Jonathan Majors thing, meaning because I'm sure in law enforcement through your years, I know Rich was a detective at one time. I don't know if he was. I think he was. I'm sure you were a uni at one point. I'm sure you've handled domestic disputes at some point in your life. So be interested to hear what he has to say about it. Maybe next time. But yeah, I'm not too confident. I don't think that was the right move releasing those text messages. I don't know. Let's see. Let's bring Ralph in. Ralph's in the building. What up, brother?
What's up? What's going on, everybody?
Man. I was before I did the weekend recap, I wanted to bring you in because, like I said, I don't think that was a smart move or the right move, we'll say, of the lawyer to put their text messages out there. He's like they're desperate to prove that Jonathan Majors is innocent, but it seems like, what did I mention before? The court of public opinion. They're trying to win over the court of public opinion. That's why else would they even release the text messages to the world?
It's like I said last week. The only thing that's going to exonerate Jonathan Majors is to see this video that his prosecutor said he got, his lawyer said he got, and on that thing he had better be like this, and just see his head going like this. Stop it. Stop it. I don't want to fight. I'm stop. If it's anything other than that one, Jonathan Majors is done. And not for nothing, on the personal level, I'm gonna be sad because it's another brother that went down the wrong path.
Yeah.
That couldn't control his temper. But on a professional level, I'm gonna be sad because bro, you right on that cusp of superstardom.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's right there. He's right. I mean, if you talk about the actors of today, he's right on that. He's like he's right there. Like, he's already had signed all of those deals. Once those movies start to drop, that's going to push him over superstardom. And the movie that we talked about, I mentioned that they screened at Sundance. They're saying that this guy gave a, De Niro-like performance in Taxi Driver, in this film, or he gave a Joaquin Phoenix-like performance from Joker. Like, this is what they're saying in this film. So, like, come on, man. Like, and if you have any of that in your heart, soul, or bones, you need to shake it off, brother. You need to get rid of that, man. Go, shoot. Be celibate. Don't get no girlfriend. I don't know.
Even if you got a girlfriend, what I'm saying is like, yo, bro, whatever was going on, and you openly hit her, slapped her, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
unless it was some matter where your life was in danger.
Right.
And I'm saying that because people say, well, wow, if it was a girl. Listen, there's some women out there that can beat up some guys. And my ex could do it. Hey, if y'all never seen what Jade Cargill looks like, go take a look at her. And you'd be like, oh damn. But my thing is simply this: if you can't control your temper, and you're that type of person, and if your girlfriend, who that's what it wasn't some jump off, it was your girlfriend, and it seems like the whole thing was like she wanted to see text messages that you were getting and you didn't want to show it to her. I mean, that's your priority. But you know what you should have did? You should have got out the damn cab and let the cab go on without you.
Yep.
You know,
you should have got out. You should be like, let me out here, get out the cab and whatever, because more than likely, right? More than likely, she ain't gonna jump out the cab and start. Y'all start scuffling out. Y'all doing it in the cab because you kind of feel like it's kind of private, right? Because you're in the back of the cab.
There's no such thing as privacy no more.
Nope.
Cabs got cameras in them because
they got cameras.
Buses got cameras. Limos got cameras. Airports got cameras. To a degree. I mean, and even if you are in someplace like an airplane that doesn't have a camera in the where you're sitting at. Almost everybody on this planet Earth has a cell phone with a camera on it. Somebody's gonna start recording it, And all I'm saying is this: like Jonathan, this is to you, Jonathan. Look, bro. If you say you got a video that can exonerate you from all these charges, that's prove that you really are innocent, to prove that you really did do nothing wrong, and that she's making you trying to torpedo your career. Then bro, we talked about this last. It is now a week later, and you still haven't pushed it out there. And we on your side. If that's what happened, hey, that's what will happen. But don't go sitting there. And this is for all of you out there that may or may not be entertainment or whatever. If you got something saying, hey, I didn't do this, but I can prevent you with evidence to show you that I didn't do it. Don't take 65 years to do it. You need to take 6 minutes and put it up there. Because and this is what Wes and myself and Kevin said last week. We don't know if what she's saying is accurate, but once you say, well, I got this to prove that I didn't do it, to prove my point, what's taking so long? So know what it is? You don't have it.
Not yet, at least.
No, I'm not even saying not yet, not ever. Yeah. Because look. Wes said something. We said, it's gonna take a minute to figure out what cab you want. That's New York City. You think it's really hard for them to figure out because you probably paid the bill. You paid the bill either with a credit card, or you got to do what's that, Uber or something.
Yeah.
So it's not hard to track it down.
Nope.
Right. So at least this was like 1980. Yeah, it might have took a minute for you to track it down. It ain't taking that damn long. And then even if it did take that long, you got the cab driver say, well, I was the one that had him in the car because that's probably the one that reported it.
Yeah,
it's not hard no more.
Yeah, it's not hard no more. It's not a hard thing. It's
like I said, like this in the back with a Bible, reading the Bible, and you got it up to your face and you're reading and say, thou shalt not
hit. And that's what you need to be. But as we welcome Kev into the thread, Kev, welcome back. What we was, I don't know how much you heard before you jumped on, but I started off by saying, just the only update so far about the Jonathan Majors thing is the latest was they released the text messages, the lawyers did. And I thought that wasn't a good move. I didn't think that was a good move at all, because those text messages where they may not hurt or destroy the case, but they don't help it at all. When you read those text messages, it just looks like a couple that fought. That's all you get out of it, really. It's her, the same thing that all couples do, or most couples do if they have an argument, a fight, a quarrel, whatever. And she's blowing up his text messages. Sorry, I love you. This, that. I didn't tell him nothing. Like that type of deal. And those things, you don't need to see all that, because it looks like they were fighting. Well, we know that they were fighting, but the bottom line is the text messages just says more or less like, she more or less said like in there, they said they had to arrest you. You know, like it was nothing to really corroborate the story of him not doing nothing to her. It seems like they were in a fight. So if it's not to me, if I'm somebody's representative, if a text message does not say, "Listen, I'm sorry I hit you. I'm sorry I hit you," or "I'm sorry I started the fight," or "I'm sorry," like pretty much incriminating herself, then it ain't worth putting out. Because what he trying to do, this is what I said last week. Court of public opinion. If people think that that's not important to these lawyers and stuff like that, you're not really paying attention to the way the social media works. That's why they put out that. That's why he put it out. Why else would he put out those text messages? And it also because they still ain't got the video that he claims that is such a proof, unequivocally proof that his client is innocent, or didn't do anything wrong, as they said, quote unquote. So because he ain't got his hands on that obviously yet, they're gonna put out these text messages, which I feel was not really a good move.
We don't want the text message. We want to see the. You need to release the video. The text message, because I can see a text message saying, "Hey, I'm surrounded by $1 million right now. Woo!" But unless I show you the video, show me surrounded by $1 million, are you really gonna believe that? No.
Well, I mean, it's just the fact that it just looks like right after they got into a fight, she's texting him, she blowing his text message up. "Hey, where are you? Hit me back," or whatever. "The cops was here. I told them, but they said that I told them whatever." I didn't. I'm paraphrasing, but all of her text messages were, none of them said or made you believe just from reading them that she started the fight or she hit him and he didn't hit her. Like, it's nothing in there that indicates that. So therefore, to me, it's not worth putting out. So we'll see.
Exactly.
I'm a little
There
nervous.
was to put out text message. You got to put out a video.
Yeah, put that video out.
Videos.
Or even if the witness comes out and says, "Yeah, man, that's what I saw," blah blah blah. Even with that, the fact that they said is a video that exists, nobody's gonna believe anybody's story until the video comes out. Even the witness, because there's skeptics out there that's gonna be like, "Well, he could have been paid off, or he could blah blah blah." Even the witness, if the witness comes out and says, because they said there's a video that exists, if they never would have said that, that's different. So because that that a video exists, even if the driver, who's supposedly the witness, says, "Yeah, man, looked like she started it to me. Like, next thing I know, I was looking, in my rear view mirror and she started slapping him. And all he did was push her away or whatever," right? No one's they'll believe it to a degree, but everyone's gonna be like, "I want to see that video. I want to see that video." They're not gonna believe her. They're not gonna believe her because you know why? Because of in the past with domestic violence situations, we've had situations. You have the video in the elevator with Jay-Z, Beyonce, and her sister, right? Them fighting in the thing. That footage came out. That footage showed Jay did not do anything. Jay-Z did not put his hands on no one, right? That was Solange going in on him. Boom, 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 boom. Bodyguard pulling her apart. Jay did the right thing. As much as I'm sure, who knows how he felt, but he did the right thing. He showed restraint. Then you take the Vegas elevator footage with Ray Rice. Ruined his career. He knocked his wife out.
Yeah.
His wife was like, "I'm not pressing charges, blah blah blah," but state jumps in and is like, "Oh no, we got this video from that video footage. That was it for him." I mean, he knocked his wife out, then dragged her into the thing, and then you had that video footage with, what was that, Quavo and Saweetie. they had some sort of little scuffle and fight or whatever, all that stuff, man. So anything like that stuff. The reason why I'm saying that is because of those. That's no matter what. That's what everybody, Ray Rice's woman was like, no, it's okay. I started it. She even tried to say that. They like, it don't matter. All we got is a video of him knocked you out and dragged you onto the into the thing. And that's all they needed. So this video, like you said, Ralph, he better be sitting there with the Holy Bible and some glasses on. Like well,
I just want to read. He got to be like this.
Three Hail Marys,
like,
three Hail Marys,
yeah.
Hail Mary full grace.
He got to be like this. He got to be like this in the car. I think it's time we need to have scriptures read in the back of the car. Let's bless this car. Let's bless this car. If it's not that, man.
No, he better be holding our hand saying, let's pray.
Let's pray.
Let's pray. Let us pray. Yeah,
exactly. And you know what? To make it more, he needs to be sitting on the passenger side of the car and him holding her right hand. So while he's saying let's pray, you just see this left slapping him like this. Pow. You need that. You need that kind of footage.
You need that kind
if
of
you don't
footage,
have that, then don't say you got it because you
No, the footage. This is what the footage. Ultimately, the footage needs to show every Kang variant that there is that can fit in that cab.
All the Kang variants. Yo, I remember when it first came out. I tweeted something like that. I said, "You sure it wasn't a Kang?" I said, "You sure it wasn't one of his variants?" and everybody's laughing.
The one variant's holding him by the neck. And the choke holding his arms. The other variant is holding her by the arm, saying, "Let's pray." The other variant is sitting in the front seat doing what Ralph said with the Bible, quoting scripture, and the driver is just the driver's just singing hymns. Listen.
The driver's singing hymns. Oh man.
Ali Akbar or something like
the old rugged cross.
Yeah. But I mean,
old school. That's an old school hymn. The old rugged cross.
I know what the lawyer's trying to do. The lawyer's trying to do the wait and see game. Like, okay, listen. He's like, all right, Jonathan, listen. Creed is in the theater, right? Ant-Man's in the theater. So right now you're hot. And now this thing came out. What we're gonna do is this. Cause it's April, right? Some other fool is gonna do something else. And that's right in the news. Look, Trump just about to get arrested tomorrow. We're gonna wait, right? We're gonna wait and let it ride. Somebody else gonna do something that's gonna be more messed up than what you talk about doing. Nobody gonna talk about you no more. Nobody gonna care. That's what he's trying to do.
That's what he probably like, hey. He probably like, Ezra Miller, where are you when we need you?
Right. Because I guarantee this. When Flash get ready to come out, and Ezra Miller start doing interviews, right? He's gonna do not the Daily Show. He's gonna do the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, the guy on Channel 2, Colbert, and Kimmel. He's probably gonna do that guy on the BBC network.
If they're smart, they're gonna keep him away from Kimmel.
No, they're not gonna keep him away from Kimmel because
no. Let me tell you something. If they're smart,
Kimmel gonna say something slick.
Because I'm gonna tell you, because Kimmel is gonna ask the hard questions. See, Kimmel is funny. See, everybody look at Kimmel as ha, but Kimmel will be sliding them questions in there.
He
puts you right on the spot. He'll do him just like he did Kanye. What would your mother say?
Yeah.
The whole place was quiet. Like
when he said that, he about to make Kanye cry.
Yeah.
When he said that. You know what I mean? But he will throw that in there.
But everybody else, like all these other bloggers, he's not talking to them because they're gonna say, "What the hell was you thinking, man? What's your problem?" Are you on your meds? You got issues? He's not going to do that. But when it comes time, they'll just talk about the Flash, the future of the Snyderverse. They're not gonna talk about you up there holding some chick hostage with a gun at a parent's house while you was up there running a Taco Bell while eating a buttery biscuit from Popeyes. They're not gonna talk about none of that stuff. They're just gonna talk about that, right? That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna shield him. Now, with that being said, while he's on this press tour, going Flash, if the Flash is a bomb, guess what? Everything I just said gets thrown out the window because the only thing that stops celebrities from getting talked about is success. If you're a fuck up, but you're very successful, you could drop a movie or album and it blows up. Your indiscretion somewhat kind of get pushed to the back of the bus, so to speak. But if you drop anything and it's a bomb, your indiscretions is now all they want to talk about. They don't care because you know what? Because that movie or TV show that you just trying to pronounce is garbage. Nobody cares. They care about the crap that you did. But if it comes out as a success, your indiscretion is pushed to the back of the bus. We'll talk about it later. Right now, we gotta talk about this. Right? Because let's be clear. Just not that long ago, Emmys came out, right? When was the last time someone talked to what's his name, that Grant guy, about him getting busted in the car with that hooker years ago? Nobody brings that crap up no more. Nobody brings up the crap that Ben Affleck used to do. No one said, "Hey, Britton, well, why did you and Jennifer Garner not work out?" Don't nobody bring that crap up. But if everything after that breakup with Jennifer Garner, if everything Ben did was a failure, why didn't you and Jennifer break up? Y'all was a perfect couple.
He said, he said, I upgraded to another Jennifer.
Right, and you can bet and believe. Look, I don't know because I'm sorry, bro. When you was with Jennifer Garner, I didn't see you making no damn Dunkin' Donut commercial like I saw today. I'm just saying. Maybe that's me, but I didn't see you.
That's what I said. He upgraded to another Jennifer.
Right. But if him and Jennifer J-Lo break up, guess what? All y'all out there talking about, well, we need him to come back to being Batman and the Snyderverse and stuff, goes out the window because he just broke up. How dare he break up with Jennifer Lopez? Who the hell he think he is?
Well, shit. Jennifer Lopez, as they say, got more stones than Thanos, right? She collected more stones than Thanos. Yeah. So, but yeah, man. We'll see that as that develops. Next week, I want to try to. Like I said, I should have did it this week. I want to try to get Rich Kenny back up here. I want to get his take on it because I do trust Rich when it comes to the law and stuff like that. He's not a lawyer, but he's been in law enforcement for so many years, and I want to talk to him about a couple of things on that. But we'll continue to follow this as it develops. Another trending topic is right now. First of all, congratulations to LSU. Is it the Lady Tigers? Is that they are?
Yeah.
They just won.
Yeah, you can't see me.
Can't see me. Yeah,
can't
so
see me.
That being said, so Angel Reese, who did that, and they're calling it infamously, but so Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. So Caitlin Clark was on Iowa, right, the opposing team, and in the Elite Eight, I think she did that motion to the opposing team. When they know, I guess when they knew they had the game in the bag, or she might have scored or something, and she did this "you can't see me" motion, right? Which is, made famous by John Cena, right? In the WWE. So she does it, nothing, no one says anything. Announcers actually kind of laugh and get a kick out of it. Now, fast forward to the finals, where Angel Reese does the same motion towards Caitlin Clark. Now everyone, the announcers lost it. People trending, it was trending on Twitter. Oh, she had no class, no sportsmanship, thug, and all this other stuff. All these crazy words came up about Angel Reese, who happens to be black, for the people who don't know. She is a black female player from LSU. LSU won. She ran the and just so you don't know, yeah, Caitlin Clark is white. So today, the sports world was talking about it. I think Stephen A. and them was talking about it on First Take. Stephen A. clearly said, and now all of the headlines are saying Stephen A. Smith from First Take dubs Angel Reese thing, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, a black white thing. Well, it is. Let's be honest. The bottom line is, why is this girl getting called all types of names and unsportsmanlike and taunting and all she did was the exact same motion that Caitlin Clark did to her opponent when they were winning. So right then and there, all of the different sports channels, I was glad, called that out. Let's call it what it is. Y'all was happy to see, right? You was happy to see Caitlin Clark do it, and you made a big kick out of it, laughed, and everything else. The announcers, but didn't have that same energy when Angel Reese does it, and they kicked their butts too. By the way, 102 to 85, they kicked their butts, and I guess they were. You know how you stand at the foul line, and I think maybe Caitlin Clark was getting ready to come out, so Angel Reese hit her with the "You can't see me," and she also, I think, at the end of the game, she also pointed to the ring finger, like, "Yo, we about to get this ring."
Now wait a minute. Now that part, maybe you might want to say that might have been a little more trash talking, like, "Oh, I got the ring and you don't."
Yeah, trash talking, but I wouldn't say unsportsmanlike. Yeah, it's just small trash talking, right? It's not unsportsmanlike. It's just trash talking.
Everybody that plays sports, hell, we listen. We're all from this era. Remember the 80s when the Jets, when they had the New York Sack Exchange, when the Gastineau and then was sacking quarterback. They got sack dances. You got touchdown dances. You got home run. Look, the most famous trash talk of all time is I forget the guy player when he called the shot in the World Series.
Babe Ruth calling his shot. And so
every pitcher since then.
They get upset.
But you know that no baseball player does that. No baseball player, he doesn't. No baseball player call, even if they know I can hit that right there. They don't go. I'm gonna hit it right there.
Well, in baseball, there's unwritten rules in baseball, which is stupid. I hate that word, unwritten rule. But there's unwritten rules in baseball. If you taunt or brag, you get the next time you up the bat, you getting a 100-mile pitch at your head. From the pitcher. That's pretty much something that I just always thought was stupid. And the pitches, if you tried to call your shot or you did some sort of flashy move, you hit the home run and flip the bat and walk away like you're trying to show up the pitcher. The next time you come up with the bat, that pitcher's trying to, he's trying to throw at your head. You know what I mean? Or
that's when you get. But see, that's when the pitcher gets punched in the face.
Exactly.
No, that's when the pitcher gets hit with a baseball bat. Like, yo, bro, what the? Let's hit with 100-mile.
That's what happens.
It hurts.
Yeah, it does. Even with a helmet on, it's gonna hurt. Or even if it don't hit you in the head, it hit you in your back. You trying to dodge, hit you in your back, or hit you in your side, your butt, anything. It's gonna be like, yo,
it hurts.
That's why they charge the mound, and then there's a fight. So, but my point is, the announcers and everyone who even wanted to bring that up, it's just another way of just bashing people, bashing a black woman for no reason.
It's the crackerism.
Yeah, just for bashing black women for no reason whatsoever. And it's like, yo, this woman is a celebrity. Klay Thompson of the Golden State Warriors just did that earlier this year, or maybe even late last year, when him and Devin Booker from the Suns was yapping it up, trash talking back and forth. Klay Thompson did the exact same thing. He pointed to the ring finger. He's like, oh, he hold up the 4 because they got 4 rings. He's like, what? 4 rings, 4 rings. You know what I'm saying? Because Devin Booker, they ain't got no rings. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, you over here talking crap.
Yeah.
I got 4 rings because Devin Booker was pointing up to
time ago. What's his name?
Devin Booker pointed up to the
What's his name?
to the scoreboard.
Didn't Reggie do that? And they talk about all the time when they were playing the Knicks and he scored what 10 points in 9 seconds, and he went like this. He was like choke.
Yeah, he did the choke signal.
Stop it.
Something that they don't even at some point they wanted you to stop that, which is so stupid. And the football players that do this did that. They don't like you doing that no more. They stop you from doing that because it's just violent.
That's all considered taunting in football.
I think
it's stupid. It takes away from the competitiveness of the game. If you can't hold yourself, the whole purpose of taunting is to throw you off your game.
Mm-hmm.
And for some, and the good thing about taunting is some people, when you taunt them, like Michael Jordan, oh, you taunting me? Okay, no problem. Watch me drop 20. Watch me drop 26 on you. Oh, watch me drop 30 on you.
Or 40 on you.
But you know what I'm saying?
Michael Jordan was one of the biggest trash talkers in the NBA ever.
Yeah.
Along with Larry Bird.
He could backed it up.
Yeah, and he could back it up. Larry Bird as
up.
well. Larry Bird would literally get you and say, "Yeah, I'm about to drive to you, and I'm about to lay it up on the left hand," and he'll go and do it. And he's talking to you while he's Larry Bird played a whole quarter where he only shot with his left hand. That's what he did, and because he told them he was going to do it. He said, "I'll still beat you."
You want me?
And the whole next quarter, I'm just going to shoot with my left hand. And that's what he did.
You don't want me using my right.
Right.
You don't want me using my right. I'm gonna
show you some mercy.
I'll
show you some mercy and use my left hand, and you still ain't gonna beat me. That's what it is, man. But so I mean, trash talking is part of sports. As long as you're not hurting nobody, you're not invading their personal space, you're not doing nothing that's gonna really. That's a real taunt. If you're in their face and you're within their personal space, taunting them, that's a little bit unsportsmanlike. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little unsportsmanlike because you don't need to be in their personal space, in their face and stuff like that. You don't need to do all that. But I don't care. But I'm just saying, if anything, it's even with that.
But see, you gotta remember though, when you're playing basketball,
but I'm not even say that one.
Football,
even in your face.
You're
right
in
their face.
Yeah,
they're getting around it. Just
No. Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying, that's not what I'm talking about. Like, not if you're not in the middle of
walking right up to
right. After
like,
the play's over, after the play's over, and you're invading their space. I'm talking. If you're doing it like how Larry Bird did, a lot of people didn't even know Larry Bird was talking junk. If you didn't know he was talking junk unless you were the person guarding him. So he's doing it. He's in your face because you're guarding him, and then he goes. But I'm talking about, okay, you come down on a break, you dunk the ball, and then you go get in the dude's face, and you invading his space. If he push you or smack you or do something like that, you can't get mad because you in his face.
Because that's antagonizing.
That's antagonizing. That's the only thing that I would say, okay, that was a little much. I really don't care because back in the day, they used to do it all the time. You know how it was. Scottie Pippen has that famous dunk where he dunked on the Knicks. He dunked on Patrick Ewing and had his nuts pretty much on in Patrick Ewing's face. And Ewing pushed him, and they're about to fight like he should have. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just And you know who used to do it a lot? Sean Kemp. He dunk on you and point at you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like,
what's his name? What's the guy that was great? What, Larry Johnson? When he was doing Grandmama, he would dunk. He was like,
with the two gold teeth. He was such that was my dude. He was such a thug. This dude, the only dude to wear gold teeth on the floor. This dude had gold teeth.
And we ain't gonna talk about Shaquille O'Neal. We're not gonna talk about Shaq at all. But Shaq was that guy too. But you know what? There's a difference between showmanship, showing out, and
Yeah.
just trash talking. Trash talking part.
Yeah.
Now what you said, the thing with the football go like this. Now when I might, yeah, because then you might have someone trying to go for your head.
Right.
I could get that one. You know, like it's and now especially after what happened last year with that football player going like this could be interpreted a wrong way. I get that one.
It could be
But
interpreted in the
when
wrong
you
way, even
score,
if they
when you
don't
do a
mean it that
touchdown
way.
or you
It
do
could
a
be interpreted. Yeah.
yeah.
But what Homegirl did.
Yeah. So that I get that one, but
yeah, that's nothing.
But what Homegirl did.
That was nothing.
I think but I think all of the commentating and complaining about what she did, I think it's purposely done to try to throw more shade at the WN, because that was a WNBA, right?
No, that was college. It was college.
Oh, that was college. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was LSU in the college.
Well, at women's basketball, period, because women's basketball it doesn't get the love that it should get, and they play just as hard as dudes do. If not, some of these chicks, can probably play just as hard. If they, what I would love to see is mix these teams up, girls and guys on the same team, and watch what happens. I guarantee you, it'll be a whole nother respect for women's basketball, and that's the key problem. Aside from the racism and the genderism, they just have no respect for women's basketball at all. And anything to complain, anything to say anything, and especially when it's somebody that's black, it's always going to be an issue. It's always going to be something. This country sucks.
Yeah.
Good God, with the bullshit.
They used to say the same thing about Cheryl Miller, Lisa Leslie. I mean, Cheryl Swoops. It's crazy. Not for nothing. It does go beyond the fact it's a black woman. It was the fact that she's a woman. Because I remember not that long, well, almost 20 years when the female soccer team won the World Cup after going undefeated for like 4 years, and Kristen took off her jersey. People were saying how unprofessional she is. She shouldn't have did that. The woman just won a title after the team went undefeated for 3 consecutive years, and she rips off her jersey. She didn't rip her clothes. She ripped off her jersey. Still have a sports bra. People they still say to this day, "Oh, she was unprofessional. She should have had better class." No, bro. Because if a guy did the exact same thing, which they have done, they have ripped off their jerseys. No one says nothing. It's like, oh, they're celebrating. What you're saying? Women can't celebrate? They're under a different set of rules.
That's all it is, and we all know what it is. You know, Stephen A. called it out. A lot of people, I'm glad in the sports world, especially the black sports commentators, called it out for what it was, man. It's just literally, one guy said it's a combination. He said it's gender bias and racial bias. He said it's both. He said because guys do it all the time. And just because females are doing it, or if 2 females did it, you make it but once again, when Caitlin Clark did it, you have to be honest to say that no one said anything about it. They actually got a kick out of it. So now that, she gets a taste of her own medicine because she's on the losing end. Now they're talking about, now it's a problem, right? So,
that's the funny part.
And that's the main issue. That's all of what it is. That's the main issue.
No, that is the main, and I'm glad that everyone called, most people, almost everybody called it out in the sports world. Black and white sports announcers called it out. They was like, yo, this is crazy that people are, literally on Twitter calling this girl a thug because she did the "you can't see me" stuff. First of all, that ain't nothing thug about that "you can't see me" sign. So what? I mean, John Cena used to do it, but that ain't no thug.
Still does it.
He still does it. Yeah, still does it. So I mean, come on now. And didn't WrestleMania happen over the weekend? Was it WrestleMania this weekend?
Yeah,
just passed.
Yes, it was.
I don't keep up with it no more. But I heard people were angry that John Cena lost. I heard people That's what
That's
I
because
thought
the
I
guy
read.
he lost to. The guy he lost to is a jerk.
How do you get mad? I'm sorry. It's wrestling. How do you get mad at somebody?
Well, because he's big and popular.
Don't
big and popular. I mean, he's a popular
that
guy.
way. Don't
Sit
there and say.
Yeah, it's just like if when Hulk Hogan was at the height of his career, Hulk Hogan lose, people gonna be mad. The Rock come back and lose, people gonna be mad. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's because of the name, because he's John Cena, and he has a big fan base. So I can see why they'd be disappointed, but that's pretty much that. Some more news here. I just read this before the show started. I'm just sitting. I'm still trying to contemplate why. So apparently, there's a Warner Brothers is developing.
Stop. You might as well just stop. If you say it's Warner Brothers, we already know it's messed up. We already know it's messed up at Warner Brothers. Those are two words.
Heat Part 2. Heat 2 is in development at Warner Brothers, with Adam Driver supposedly to be connected to it. Now it says here the way the Heat sequel has taken a bit step forward. According to new reports by Deadline, Warner Brothers is now officially in negotiations with Michael Mann, obviously the original creator for Heat, with Michael Mann for the filmmaker to return to the director's chair for Heat 2, nearly 3 decades after the release of the original film in 1995. The news follows the release of Michael Mann's Heat 2 novel, which was released to high sales last year, perhaps giving the movie version the momentum it needed to finally get its way out of the development hell. And it says the novel will likely serve as the blueprint for the movie version of the follow-up to Heat. It says, according to a new report, at least one big name is already in negotiations, potentially taking one of the starring roles. Adam Driver, one of the stars of Mann's next film's Ferrari, is said to be in the role or whatever, blah, blah, blah. It says here, the original Heat obviously played Rob De Niro, but we know that they're not going to return. I mean, maybe Pacino, maybe in a cameo role or something like that, as an old retired cop or something. But okay, so here's the thing.
Captain. He's the captain.
Right. He'd be the captain. He'd have to be the captain now. So, all right. You know how I feel about sequels, especially ones this long. But in my opinion, 2 reasons got this thing out of development hell. One is Michael, like they said, Michael Mann's book did well. His novel for Heat 2 did good last year. Number 2, yes, I'm going to say it. The success of Avatar and Maverick, because both films are over 2 decades later and they still sequels and they still did really good at the box office. Those are the 3 factors, I think, that got this at least a step forward out of development hell, as they call it, where you just go to die. Oh, it's in development. It's in development. It's in development. And it never develops, right? So, and the 4th factor, Michael Mann is going to come back and direct it. I think that is the 4th factor in there. Now, with those factors,
listen, we can talk junk about what Warner Brothers all we want, but outside of the superhero realm, Warner Brothers does pretty okay with movies. They're not that bad with other films outside of the superhero genre. So
I mean, the superhero genre has been there. Yeah, agreed. Superhero genre has been their little Achilles heel, but I wanted to ask y'all, with those factors in play, are you here for Heat 2? Just on an early development type of deal. You here for
I'm here for it with Adam Driver in it. Yeah, Yeah, I'm here for it.
When I go ahead. What about you, Ralph?
I don't know. I don't know because first, I guess since it was based on another novel, I'd have to at least read the novel, be familiar with it, because I mean, for my first fear is like, well, like you're not having Alcino come back as the lead detective. There's no way that's gonna happen.
No.
Right.
He's gonna. If anything, if he's even in it, like you said, he would be the captain.
Yeah.
He'd be the captain.
Right. So at this point, like, even if you wanted to continue, but then better yet, if that's the case, then why are you gonna call it Heat 2? It has nothing to do with the original version. The version was about a bank robbery.
But
we don't. Wait, we don't know yet, Ralph. We don't. I mean, if Michael Mann wrote the novel, how do we know what it's about until we read the novel?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, but the thing is
but the spirit. I get what you're saying about the bank
not
robbery,
even so
Ralph,
much that.
But
not even so much
the
that.
Heat,
It's the characters themselves. All the characters would theoretically be gone now, unless
not really, because Val Kilmer's character got off.
He got away.
Val Kilmer's fucked. He ain't coming back. He's not coming back. I'm not talking about real life. I'm talking about in the movie. In the movie, he was messed up in it. So he's not.
But I mean, but technically, he got away. You know what I mean?
But what I'm saying is that generally sequels have some sort of connection to the original movie, some way, shape, or form.
But we don't know what it is, Ralph. Do we?
We don't know that yet. Yeah.
Then why call it Heat 2? Why
because
why not just call it?
But I'm gonna tell you why they call it. No, I'm gonna tell you why they're not gonna do that. Because number one, Heat, the title Heat refers to the police. That's all it refers to. It don't refer to
the coming down on you.
Right, the heat coming down on you while you're doing a crime. So the crime could be anything. The heat is the police. You know what I'm saying? That's what he says. Don't be involved with anyone that you ain't ready to walk out 60 seconds when you spot the heat coming around the corner. You know what I'm saying? It's the same.
Yeah.
So the term the heat just means the police, the heat that they put on you or whatever. That's all it is. So it could be about any type of crime. You know, it might be another heist film. It may not be, but we have to kind of read and find out what that book was. And
now I gotta go find the book.
Right. And the fact of the matter that Michael Mann is back, is going to be back. That's what really, because at first, when I first heard about Heat 2, I was like, nope, some things don't need to be touched, blah, 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 blah. At least at first I thought it was going to be like a remake or a reboot. Thank God it's not. It's a sequel. Okay, yes, it's a long time ago. But what I want to say is, with Michael Mann being attached to it, then that gave me a little more confidence that if nothing else, it should be a good film. Is it going to even touch the first one? Probably not. Probably never will. But it still has a potential of being a really good film because Michael Mann is involved. Now, right now, only name that's involved right now is Adam Driver, allegedly. He's supposedly, they're talking to him. They're in talks with him. And he'll be involved. Adam Driver's good actor, and I'm sure they're going to follow the blueprint of the first one. They're going to have good actors in this, just good actors of today. Are gonna be it. Don't be surprised if this is what I'm saying. It's stuff like this that you gotta hope that Jonathan Majors clears this stuff up. Someone like him could be put in a film like this and it would be crazy. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about a lot of these actors that's out right now, but it's going to be known actors and it's going to be good actors. They're going to follow that with a couple of new actors on the rise as well. They're going to follow the blueprint of the first movie, so they're,
and on top of all that, once word is out that they're remaking this movie,
Everyone's gonna want to get in it.
They're gonna throw their hat in the ring.
This gonna be this gonna be one of those movies that people gonna be like, nah, I gotta be a part of this because I love the original. It was such a classic. I gotta be a part of this movie. So don't be surprised if actors is looking at actors like a Michael B. Jordan or actors like a Jonathan Majors, providing how this whole thing works out with him, might end up in something like this. Don't be surprised if Jamie Foxx ends up in something like this. Michael Mann worked with him. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness.
You know what? That one person, I don't think if you're going to use Jamie Foxx, it would make more sense to do another Miami Vice movie with Jamie Foxx.
But Jamie Foxx is a good actor. He can do anything.
No. I agree. But I'm saying if I see attached to a Michael Mann movie now, Jamie Foxx, I want to see the two of them doing another Miami Vice movie more than. I mean, if that's a choice, say okay, we can have Jamie Foxx either do Heat 2 or Miami Vice 2. I would rather him do Miami Vice 2 over Heat 2.
Why not? Why not both? Why not both?
Because now he is associated with Tubbs, like that's Tubbs, and you have the choice. Because if mine was going to do, if you had choice, I could either do Heat 2 with Jamie Foxx, or I could do Vice 2 with Jamie Foxx. I'd much rather him do. Plus, I'd rather him do the Miami Vice 2 with Jamie Foxx because although the Miami Vice movie was decent, it was something lacking in that. To this day, I still can't put my finger on it, but there was something missing out of that movie that would have made it epic, right? And now you come back with a much more seasoned Colin Farrell, right? Much more than Naomi Harris. Now we got three people that are Oscar nominees and an Oscar winner. Yo, that now could be epic on the level of the TV show. The first one was good, but it wasn't epic like Heat.
I mean,
or even Collateral.
All right. So what I'm saying is this, though. Now, I think what you're saying, I agree with. If it was an either or, and you want to say, okay, let's do Miami Vice 2, great. I'm cool with that. But I think you're overthinking it a little bit. I mean, if in fact Jamie Foxx popped up in Heat 2 for whatever reason, playing whatever character, it's especially depending on what the movie is and how it's written or whatever. We all know what Michael Mann delivers. So the fact of the matter is, it still be a good movie. There's no reason why you can't do both if that's the case. He may end up doing both. Don't be surprised if they do a Miami Vice 2. Don't be surprised if they do that because, like that. Colin Farrell. I'm just saying because right now we're just thinking about potentials for Heat 2. Who do you think would be a potential person? And I'm just throwing some names out there. I'm saying don't be surprised if a Michael B. Jordan, depending on what happens to Jonathan Majors, maybe a Jonathan Majors. And I'm not saying all of them at once. I'm just saying these are names that I think would be looked at because Jonathan Majors is the type of character that could play a villain. He could play a good villain. He could play a hero and a villain. That would be cool. Well, how about Jamie Foxx as the villain? That would be interesting.
That I'm thinking about. What would catch me where I would be all into Jamie Foxx playing the villain in Heat 2 if he was playing the character from Horrible Bosses because he got the coolest name, Motherfucker Jones. Like you got the cops going against Motherfucker Jones. Like I would be like, okay.
If Jamie Foxx is such a good actor, man. He's a talented dude all the way around. But if he was picked to play the villain, if he was picked to play the villain, he would do his thing. Also, so I would say out of the older actors, because you think about what is the blueprint of Heat. Heat had a lot of known actors, and it had they were all good actors. A couple of upcoming actors at the time were in it, but most of the time you had like that one character actor, like the dude, like what's that dude's name? Trejo, wasn't he in that? Like Danny Trejo. He's like a classic character actor, right? So you got that one guy like that you throw in there. So
I know who that guy. That's Bryan Cranston. You throw Bryan Cranston up there. He could that's his or Richard Jenkins. That's a really good character. Those are two good character actors that you could throw up.
Yeah,
in
or Gary
there.
Oldman, another good character actor. Gary Oldman is
Yeah.
he's just like an excellent character actor, one of the best in my opinion.
Yeah.
So you got your two main leads. I mean, think about it. He had two of who considered the best, two goats at the leads of opposite of each other, right? Can you duplicate that now with today's times? Meaning, like with the actors of today, you would probably have to, because both of them were not spring chickens when they did that film. So you probably would have to dig into your bag of like a Brad Pitt, somebody who's still acting, still active, but not a spring chicken no more, but he's still doing it. And he's still getting it in. He's still getting nominated for awards, and he's still very active. So I can see a Brad Pitt being chosen to be in Heat 2.
I can't see anybody until I read the book.
Well, I mean, it's just speculation. Yeah,
I mean,
it's just speculation.
Because if I was gonna go with someone,
No, I'm just saying for me, just for me, I can't. The only thing I want is they better have the same sound people that they have on Heat 1.
Oh yeah,
because listen, the sound design on that was incredible. I love watching that on my home stereo system.
Yeah,
it pops off.
I mean, I think that I'm just throwing it out there because the Hollywood executives are thinking about this now. They could care less about the book. They ain't probably even gonna read it. They're thinking about who can we get in this that's gonna match at least the blueprint of the original. Is it gonna be, no one's gonna say, but your ambition is always to best the original, whether you do or not. Yeah, all of us is gonna say, nah, that's impossible. But everyone said it was impossible to do for Coppola to do better than The Godfather. And guess what? He came with The Godfather 2, which a lot of people consider the better film. Yeah. Right. So
I mean,
it's possible.
For me, if you were going to put two classic actors in there, just off the top of my head, I would say Denzel Washington.
Okay.
But I think someone who should be in there. This would be something that I think Daniel Day-Lewis could just eat it up.
Oh, he'd be really good. Yeah.
I think he, because he is a very method actor. I think he would just get so into it, and it would be something that's so unlike him. I mean, Gangs of New York, he was the bad guy. If he brought that kind of energy to this kind of project, oh my God.
Yeah,
but
I mean, him as a villain, period. He's like you said, he's such a great method actor, and he was really cool. And like I said, once again, people, if you just join us, whatever, we don't know what's becoming of this. We're just kind of just speculating, almost as if the execs would be doing. Who should we get that we know is going to be an instant draw to this? Because let's be honest, when you did Heat, we know that was an instant draw. You didn't have to see one trailer or know one thing about this film. You know that Al Pacino and Robert De Niro were in the movies and they were playing opposite of each other, which they had never done up until that point. You know what I'm saying? That right there is enough. I'm sold. You got me sold.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No else I could go with? I'm still taking Daniel Day-Lewis. But if you want to have someone else, Russell Crowe, the two of them going at it, man.
Yeah, Russell Crowe. Who now, just to, like I said, let's see if we can match the formula, because a lot of people have played together. Said, is there any two really good actors right now that's never played in a film together that we might love to see playing a film together? That one is, that's the tough one, because a lot of actors play together. I'm thinking talking about on super level,
Yeah. Although they did play each other on TV, but not in the film, McConaughey and Woody Harrelson, those two guys.
But they played. They were both in yeah.
That's what I'm
but not
saying.
on
I'm
film,
saying
yeah.
not
Well, I
on
mean,
film, but
yeah. I mean, yeah, they would both be. But I'm thinking two super level actors. Someone said Idris Elba in here. Okay, cool.
yeah.
Two. Yeah, that's a dope one. That's a dope pick. Idris Elba. You know he can play a villain. He played it in the Losers. He was a villain in that.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, Luther's just he's not a villain. He's the hero of the story, but he's just a a little little sketchy with it.
But he's already done a bunch of these already. I don't think I don't think he would take it.
But I think he would, only because it's Michael Mann. If it was just some other guy, he might say, "Nah, I'm done." But there's directors, even if you
there's gonna be some people that want to work with the director.
It's that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about who have we?
I want to.
Okay, so let's think about this. Let's think about some real quick. Like we said, big actors that may not have played with each other in, pause, not played with each other, but may have played in the same film.
Worked with each other.
Worked with each other. Thank you. So I'm thinking, what about? This is what I'm saying. It wouldn't be for this film. I'm just using this as an example, but not for this film. But what I'm saying is, Robert Downey Jr., Johnny Depp, two actors, right? That's huge actors that we would love to see them play opposite of each other. It's got to be that level, because to me that matches the level of De Niro and Pacino. Because you're like, these are two actors that kind of not say that they take the same type of roles, because Johnny takes different roles, but two major level actors that we would love to see on the screen together would be Robert De Niro and Johnny Depp. Robert De Niro, RDJ.
Yeah, Robert Downey.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. would have to be the detective. Either him or Ben Affleck would have to be the detective, and Johnny Depp would definitely have to be the bank robber.
The crook or whoever it is. Yeah.
Right. My brother said,
and he has to get away. And because it's Johnny Depp, he has to get away in the end. He can't die.
No, he gotta go.
What about Idris and Amari? Who's that? Oh, Amari Hardwick. Yeah, but he's not on that level. I love Amari, and I wouldn't mind putting Amari in the film as one of the people in the crew. He would be good as one of the people in the crew. He wouldn't be a lead in the film, but he would be like the Val Kilmer character, or one of those other ones that was like, the second and third in command. But like we said, Idris would definitely be a lead if he was to do it. My brother said Idris and Denzel. You mentioned Denzel, Ralph. Right.
Forrest Whitaker.
Denzel.
Forrest
Whitaker would have to be the cop, and he would kill it. Because all I think about, I think
not the cop. Actually, you know who would really kill it as the bad guy? Anthony Anderson. That one year he was on The Shield, he was the scariest dude I ever saw. I mean, he killed it. He killed it.
And I love The Shield. He killed it. Anthony Anderson killed that character on The Shield. And that's what I thought about The Shield when you said Forrest Whitaker, because I loved his character on The Shield too.
The Shield, yep.
As a cop. And he was a cop, but they really tapped into how messed up he is and could be, even though he's a cop. Because he was, why? What's the one thing that's gonna mess a brother up? A woman.
Man,
so
when his wife said, she said, "What are you doing with?" He said, "Oh, he made me come twice."
Yeah,
I was like,
twice. Yo, he went crazy.
But that's also why I said I think
and then Vic Mackey said, "Yo, Vic Mackey said your wife's joint
Tastes like strawberry.
Strawberry or smooth hot butter or something like that. He said, yo, and that was it. Yo, he lost it. So you got a cop that's trying to, thinks he's smarter than everybody. That's that cop. That's what Forrest Whitaker played. He was that cop that thought he was always the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And trying to outsmart people and doing everything supposedly by the book. But he was like Super Columbo. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like the Columbo cop, that's do it all by the book, don't have to go shoot nobody, because he gonna catch you, because he gonna outthink you, because he's smarter than you. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't that smart.
And he lost his composure.
Not against him.
He lost his composure when old girl said, "Yeah, he made me come twice," and then closed the door on him. It was like
that was like the coldest line he come twice.
Yeah, twice, and then she closed the door on him. Like, wow, and he's like, she had sex with like his arch enemy, his nemesis. But yeah, I'm still trying to find like, now they wouldn't match this level of type of thing. I mean, they could, because those guys could play anything. I'm talking about RDJ and Depp, but it has to be that level of, in my opinion. So you like already did, or maybe like, once again, another on the level, doesn't mean it have to be in this film, but like, I can't remember them playing in any films together. They probably did. Oh yeah, they did. I wasn't talking about Interview with a Vampire. I was gonna say Cruise and Pitt, but yeah, they played an Interview with a Vampire together. So, but I'm saying like,
you had Tom, I'm still sticking with that. If it was Daniel Day-Lewis going after Tom Cruise, like kind of like in that mindset that he was in Collateral. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Tom Cruise could play a villain now, and I would love to see him play the bad guy,
because he doesn't.
Because he doesn't do that.
In all movies, maybe twice he's played a bad guy. And like
but he wasn't really a villain in Collateral.
He was. He was the antagonist of the film. Yeah,
he was the antagonist, but I wouldn't call him a villain.
Well, he was a hitman, but
he was a hitman.
What I mean is he's the antagonist. So
yeah,
he played the antagonist of the film. He wasn't the hero, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean that part where he came out, when he comes out after killing the second guy, and they and those three guys took the stuff for Jane Foster. He says, "Yo, homie, you got my bag?" You're like, "Ho, pop."
Kills everybody. He did his thing. He did his. he was good in that. Very convincing. So I can see him. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't shy away from that if they said Brad Pitt and
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. I wouldn't shy away from that now. That's big. That's high level. That's monster level. You know what I'm saying? But I would want it to be. I would want Tom Cruise to be the antagonist.
That guy.
Yeah, I'd want him to be the antagonist. I'd want because it would be even better, because number one, Tom Cruise would be doing so many crazy stunts to get away, running and stuff like that. That would be cool. But who else? Is there any other high levels like that? To blockbuster.
Listen.
One of them got to be DiCaprio.
Y'all not talking about the most, but y'all not talking about the most important thing of this film. I don't care about the actors. Honestly.
It is about the story. It is about the story.
I just want to see a whole lot of guns. That's all I
want. That's Michael Mann. We're gonna see that. Oh, this is a good one.
I like that. Cruise and Bale.
Said Cruise and Bale. Now that would be interesting. That would be top notch. Now that would be. I think Cruise and Bale. And if you didn't have Cruise, because more than likely he wouldn't do it. Tom Cruise produces his own movies now. But I'm just saying, as a fantasy list, Cruise and Bale would be awesome. If Cruise didn't do it, which he probably wouldn't, even Pitt and Bale would be a nice run.
That would be crazy.
Yeah,
I would take Bale and DiCaprio.
That would be good too.
But DiCaprio is.
Have they ever played in anything together?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But I would like to see DiCaprio in the antagonist role. Like he's the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, I can see that because I can see Bale as an unethical cop. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the cop, and he's like a Vic Mackey. He's well, not as bad as Vic Mackey. Vic Mackey was straight crooked, but
Listen,
unorthodox.
nobody could ever be like Vic Mackey. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You can't even.
I'd like to see an unorthodox cop, not unorthodox, an unethical cop. Christian Bale could do that real good. I think he'd play a really good unethical cop, and he has to almost stoop down to the level of the guy he's chasing.
He would have to kind of be like how Gerard Butler's character was in whatchamacallit. Damn it. The movie with
Law-abiding citizen.
Service guy?
No, not law abiding citizen. Oh no, definitely not law abiding citizen. That's my movie right there. Not
you talking
not,
about when he was a Secret Service guy? Or
no. When he was the robbery, the homicide robbery detective. With the one with Ice Cube's son.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of that one. I know what you're talking about.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ralph. See that? That's the one where they robbed the Fed. The Fed was basically the point of the movie was the Fed was they recycle money, so they take all the old money out of circulation and they shred it. And they basically, that was crazy.
Yeah, that's like Dead Presidents, though.
Yeah,
but it's
not. It wasn't the same thing, though. It was a heist movie, though. It was a heist movie.
Yeah, it was a heist movie. Yeah,
it was a heist movie. But who else would I like? So
but
who
you
else
know
would
something?
like
I think we're having a discussion while we're looking at the movie. I think if we're gonna follow the format of Heat, you gotta give us the scene of the two of them. Whether it's in a diner or a bar, talking to one
no,
another.
I don't want that. I don't want that. I want for this one to be its own original thing. I don't want nods to nothing. I want a whole new. I want like a new I go as far as to say
what I'll say is this: we need that.
I go as far as to say I hope it's not in L.A.
Exactly.
Right. I hope it's either in Atlanta or in New York,
or maybe or DC. It gets maybe DC would be because a lot of crap goes on now in DC.
Now you know where I wouldn't mind seeing that, which I think now saying this now you might want to change the cast. Have it somewhere in Texas and it deals with Mexico, and now you can bring in someone like a Javier Bardem.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Now you kind of give me something like one of them is
along the lines of like Wanted Dead or Alive, not Wanted Dead or Alive.
Extreme Prejudice,
what's the name of that?
Or
exactly. Extreme Prejudice, exactly.
Yeah, that'd be different. That'd definitely be different.
And make it gritty, make it like
gritty like that.
Spaghetti
it's got to be gritty, but I think Michael Mann, it's gonna be gritty because it's Michael Mann involved in it. He's gonna make sure it's gritty.
He's gonna make it
flashy. You gonna get your shootout scene, Kev. You gonna get your guns. That's gonna happen with Michael Mann being involved. That's for sure.
You know something, man. After I saw John Wick today, I don't know how you top it. That spoiler alert for those saying the fight in front of the champs that say. I don't see how you top that. That was the most ridiculous thing. But I was like, damn, that was just so awesome.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be 100 with you. I love John Wick. I was watching it though, and I'm just like, Jesus, man. Like, I was hoping for this to be the last one because I'm just like, what else can you do? You know what I mean? Like, I was even I ain't go front, and I know it's weird for me to say this, but I was like, okay. All right, I've seen enough. But I loved it. But I'm just like, man. And then when he kept the fight at the church, that was just ridiculous. He kept falling down the stairs. I'm sitting there like, the whole theater was cracking up when he kept rolling, he just kept rolling. And he's like, "Yo, wait a minute! You thought he was gonna stop rolling? And he kept rolling."
That's like that was kind of and I don't know if this is factual or not. This is just my own observation of it.
Thanks, Kazim. He threw the Den of Thieves was the name of the film. But go ahead.
I thought that was a nod to what's his face. God damn it! Why can't I think of the film? I think it's Revenge of the White Lotus. And yeah, and he kept falling, and he fell
kept
all
rolling down.
Yeah,
it might have been. I can see that.
Might have been.
Yeah, it was funny though. But I'm sitting there like, yo. Now, this is what I'd like to see with that. If you're going to, because they're talking about a spinoff. If you're going to do a spinoff, let's get Halle Berry back for the spinoff and get that other black dude with his dog. And do a spinoff with them.
I was wondering if he borrowed her dogs.
Yeah, that's what I was like, yo, did you borrow the dog? I thought, man, like, did he learn from her? Did she train him, or is that one of her dogs? I don't know, but guess what? You can talk about all that.
There's a story there. There's a story
there. You can talk about that in a spinoff.
And actually, you know how you can do that story? You could spin that story off exactly from the scene where it ends in the desert, and she's driving back to Casablanca after she drops him off in the desert in the Sahara.
Yep, I can see that. That'd be a nice way to spin it. All right, let's stop talking about it, Kev, before we end up having to write it. Yo, my brother, if he's still in the audience, let's stop talking about it before we have to write it. Nah, but I think back to this Heat thing. So that we'll move on to the next topic. But I'm just saying, I'm excited. I'm not excited yet because we don't see nothing. But now I want to get the book and look into that, because the book is obviously out. It's been out since last year. It was written by Michael Mann. So and he's coming back to do it. So hey, you gotta check it out. Michael Mann.
The only thing I'm nervous about, I'm nervous about that. Yeah, he's a good director, and whatever the case may be. But I get kind of nervous because I never read any of his stuff, and I'm a little bit nervous. Like I don't want to read it, and the book be so good. And that's why sometimes I don't read books, and until after I see the movie.
You know that if he wrote the book, he's going to bring a lot of those elements to the film.
But sometimes the book is still, because you're using your imagination more.
Well, that's an element that you just can't change.
You can never bring that. I haven't not once yet, with the exception of maybe The Godfather, 2. I can't even think of another.
It's hard to see. It's hard to find out where the sequel is better, right?
Yeah. Like even I read all the Twilight books. I read the Harry Potter books, and I read them all after I watched the movies, because I was.
I literally, as we speak, bro, I just purchased the book on Amazon Kindle. Literally, I just purchased the Kindle version of the book. As we're online right now, or as we're on air, so I'll be able to give a look at it.
Now you can't. I said I wasn't going to spend no more money this week. I've been spending no money. God damn it!
Yeah, man. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna check it out and see what's it about. And we go from there. But anyhow, it's just ambitious to talk about it, because that's the only thing I hope. Can we keep, if I'm one of these execs, I'm like, how do we keep the blueprint? The one thing that got people without seeing one stick of footage to come out to the film was the fact that Robert De Niro and Al Pacino were starring together for the first time. Because they were together in The Godfather Part 2, but they did not do any scenes together. because Robert De Niro played the young version
God
of
damn,
Vito
they want
Corleone.
$12.
Yeah. Because Robert De Niro played the young version of Vito Corleone, who is Michael Corleone's father, obviously they had no scenes together. So he represented the first time that they had scenes together in a film opposite of each other. That was the selling point right there. You didn't have to see one stick of footage to want to go see that film, right? Seeing a trailer was just a bonus. So how do you duplicate that blueprint by saying there's the two stars of this new film are modern day level as they were in their time, so it has to be two blockbuster great actors, not just money draws, and it can't be the Rock and somebody, just because Rock's a great money draw, but you're talking about two great actors that also is a money draw because they're great actors, right? Because of their resume that they've put it. And like we said, we mentioned a few, some that probably won't happen, but I'm just saying it has to be on that level. We mentioned Brad Pitt and Cruz. We mentioned Cruz and Bale, so like that. Pitt and Bale, Pitt and DiCaprio, stuff like that, or someone else in DiCaprio. We talked about Daniel Day-Lewis, like these people that are just like great actors, high level, on all levels. We mentioned Denzel. So these are all combinations, all positive. And of course, my high level again, what we said again, RDJ and Johnny Depp, So,
but I got a question though. I mean, we're sitting here talking about this. What if you don't do that?
Mm-hmm. Well, if you don't, then you have to really
no. Who said the leads had to be men? Why not do something where the two leads are women?
Well, if it's women, I'm telling you right now, the combination: Angelina Jolie and Charlize Theron. That would be De Niro Pacino level. If it was two females as the lead, it would have to be that, in my opinion. That's the level. That's that same De Niro Pacino level. If you got Charlize Theron on one end and Angelina Jolie on the other end, that for females, that's what I would love to see. Or, that's one combination. Or if you had
I take Jolie. I would take Jolie and Sandra Bullock. But Sandra got to be the cop.
Sandra Bullock, yeah, she would definitely be the cop. She'd be. I can't even see her playing an antagonist. She's just, I don't know. I would love to see it because you like to see people come out their comfort zone, right? But I'm just saying, I don't think people will buy it with her as the antagonist. She'd have to really come and kill it to be the antagonist of the movie and make it work, make it stick. Because everyone sees her as a protagonist, right? So, I'm Sandra Bullock. Also, yeah. Who else? If we're just doing females, but you never know.
I'm a. It's gonna sound crazy, but Natalie Portman.
Oh, I'd love to see Natalie Portman, man. Natalie Portman doesn't get the.
No,
what about?
But would I match her up with like Jennifer Lawrence, or
could be if you're talking
maybe Emma Stone?
Maybe.
No,
Jennifer Lawrence would be good.
Really,
in there. Who else?
I want to say Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson, maybe. Scarlett be good. She's a good action actor. What about who else would be good? Because she proved herself to me in the HBO series is Regina King. Regina King would kill the cop role for sure. Because she's improved herself in Watchmen to me. I would also like if and obviously we're just hypothetically because we don't know if that's going to be that, but if it was to be that, You know what else would be cool? And who I would love to see in a film like this? Angela Bassett. If it was going to be a female, Angela Bassett.
Yeah.
She would destroy.
And I want her
What
to
about-
bag. I want her to be the bad guy. I do not want Angela
Yeah.
Bassett to
You don't
be
want to be the good guy.
the-
What
I
about
want
what,
her to
what
be the
about
bad
what
guy.
about Angela? So level of that is Angela and
Angela,
well,
Jolie versus Bassett.
No. I mean, yeah, that too. But what I mean is, what's the old girl, Woman King versus
Viola Davis?
Yeah, Viola Davis, Angela Bassett. That's high level. That's Pacino, De Niro right there. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? On thought,
Viola Davis, Angela
thought,
Bassett.
I
think Viola would be a better villain. I think she'd be a better antagonist, Viola. She just got that look. Yeah.
But now that I'm thinking about it, depending on what the movie is about, Angela Bassett as the cop and Peter Nyong'o as the bad guy.
I'll look at Lupita in any damn thing. But that's a whole other story.
But I think something like that, depending on what the story is about. And
right.
If it was something to do with immigration.
No, Angela Bassett would have to be. Angela Bassett would have to be. She would have to be the bank robber, or the wife, or somehow in the relationship with whoever the bank robber is, and Viola Davis would have to be the cop.
I think both them obviously could do both, but I like how Viola
Davis already did the criminal side.
She did the criminal side with that other film that they did that didn't get really no recognition, and that's the problem. Good, obviously, well, it wasn't all that great, but it wasn't bad.
No, that movie was good.
Bad. It was
okay.
Good. It was good. It wasn't great.
Okay.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, Widows was
it
okay.
Should have got way more run than it did, but and that's an issue. That's why, even though we're just speculating, this would never happen. Michael Mann would never do that. For the fact of the matter that it just wouldn't happen, because unfortunately, still to this day, Hollywood wouldn't it wouldn't get
They're stupid, and they don't understand the draw
right
that
would bring. But going back to it, I could definitely see, because and even in Heat, I could see in this version of Heat, or Heat 2, Heat had its women in it too that played their parts, and that's just like Ashley Judd. You know what I mean? Ashley Judd is the biggest ride or die chick in cinema. You know what I'm saying? She came through, son. She came through when Val Kilmer rolled up. They was about to bag him. She gave him the you know what I'm saying? Like, whoa. He's like, oh, okay, I got to get out of here. Yo, the only time that's ever happened, not the only time, but that happened to me, fellas. I got the when I was about to be set up by my girlfriend at the time and a chick that I was kicking it with. They were trying to set me up. They about to set me up, bro. And the moms came through. The moms came through and gave me the and they were trying to get
you don't
want
to go in there.
Grip. You don't want to go in there, dude. What? Yeah, your girl's here. Word? Okay. Bye. So I know that, like I said, old girl, she did the ride or die, boy, and she had the police on her neck. They were right up there with the things going, like she knew she was gonna they were gonna take her to jail behind that, because she didn't, not cooperating and stuff like that, but they supposed to have been cooperating. So yeah, once again, to wrap up that part of the conversation, it's gonna be interesting. When you stepped away, Ralph, I just bought the book on Amazon Kindle. I just bought Heat 2.
Does it say what it's about?
It says, let me go back, because I just literally went and clicked and bought it. I got the most dangerous button on Amazon, the one-click button. It's the most dangerous button on Amazon. It says, does it say anything? I'm trying to see if there's like a little blurb about it, not the whole thing I'm gonna read. It's definitely a heist movie again, because it says this is like the prologue. It's like at 11:32 a.m. and Thursday, September 7th, 1995, the Far East. Oh well, maybe no, they're going back to. I guess maybe he's going back to what happened in Heat real quick. East National Bank at 444 South Floral Street, Los Angeles, was held up by the men. Okay, yeah, by Neil McCauley. Yeah, okay, yeah, cool. So he just saying right there. 5 minutes earlier, blah blah blah. Homicide. Okay, they're kind of just explaining to you in this prologue what happened in Heat, basically. So now what goes on here, as I can't see. Nice strolls between. Yeah, I can't see anything that's like. Oh wait, what's this say? Michael Mann, 4-time Oscar-nominated writer and director of the last one. Blah blah blah. Miami, blah blah blah. A hard-boiled. This is just a quote from Esquire. A hard-boiled cinematic read that moves as fast as a well-planned heist. So it is another heist movie, I guess. One day at the end.
I know this much. I know this much. I know this much. This book better be good, because I'm looking at my Kindle library right now, and it's filled with stuff that I ain't read yet. And,
I have a lot in there that I haven't read yet either. So it says here, one day after the end of Heat, Chris Sherrills or whatever his name is, Val Kilmer's character, is holed up in a Korean town.
I told you.
Wounded, half delirious, and desperately trying to escape L.A. Hunting him is LAPD detective Vincent Hanna, Al Pacino. Hours earlier, Hanna killed Cheryl's brother in the arms, right? Neil McCauley, we know that. In a gunfight under the strobe, blah, 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 blah. We know that happened. In 1988, 7 years earlier, McCauley, Sharon's, and the High Line crew are taking scores on the West Coast. You do what I do, I do what I do. I take scores. I love it. Mexico. Oh, here you go, Ralph, on the U.S.-Mexican border. And now in Chicago, driven daring, they're pulling in money. This said that was it. So what is this about? Heat 2 engrosses engrossing movie and tragic, a masterpiece of crime fiction with the same extraordinary ambition, scope, and rich characterizations of the epic film. It says Heat 2 projects its dimensional and richly drawn men and women into whole new worlds, from the inner sanctions of the rival crime syndicates in a South American free trade zone to transitional criminals enterprises in Southeast Asia. The novel brings you to so it's in Southeast Asia, and it says it brings you into these lives. Michael Mann's Heat universe, they will confront new adventures and lethal circumstances beyond all boundaries. It still doesn't really tell you what it's about. I'm skipping around at the same time, but Macaulay score. It says, meanwhile, the fallout from Macaulay's scores and Hannah's
if you bought the book, read the back of the book. The back of the book.
They're not showing that really. All they're showing is the. I don't know if this is supposedly from the back of the book, but yeah. So I'll let you know next week. I'll just read it and see what it's about.
It's a it's
another heist. It may be. It seems like it jumps around from what it says here. It might be a prequel, because it says driven, daring, they're pulling in, moving, and living vivid lives. Chicago homicide detective Vincent Hanna, a man unreconciled with history, is following his calling to pursue. Yeah, it looks like to pursue. So it looks like it might be a prequel, but it also says it looks like it might jump around. So they may show so younger versions of these characters, basically. That would be the prequel side of it, and yeah. So now determined to capture, or kill Sherrills, the last survivor of Macaulay's crew, before he goes out of the city. Okay, yeah. So it probably starts. It may start with, wow, that's interesting. So are they gonna start? Because this supposedly happens one day after the events of Heat. So if they're gonna go now, they're gonna do one or two things. They're gonna have maybe Pacino might cameo in that scene, and they de-age him for that little prelude scene. Same thing with Kilmer. Kilmer was able to come into Top Gun, whatever. And remember, so they may get Kilmer in it, de-age him, and just for that one scene, because that one part of it seems like it's like the cold opening. You know what I'm saying? Like it basically Hannah, the De Niro's character, Pacino's character is trying to track him down. He's like, I want to get all of them. I want to get the whole crew. And he got away, as we talked about. Kev was talking about it. So yeah, it's gonna pick up the next day with him. With deep fake and the de-aging capabilities, hey man, it's all at our fingertips. You can still have them come there and do that. See, especially if it's not through the whole
Very
movie.
true.
I mean, hell, matter of fact, they did the whole movie for Samuel Jackson. The whole damn movie they de-aged him for Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
So they
true.
can very well do that. And actually, if they do that, I don't
think
they
doing that for Harrison Ford.
Yeah, do that Harrison Ford for the whole thing. I ain't mad at it, to be honest with you. If they because like you said, if they're gonna introduce new characters such as an Adam Driver or someone else, but we get a taste of the old characters that were left in the movie. Of course, Pacino, Val Kilmer. You know what I'm saying? You might even show what happened to the woman. You know what I'm saying? May have her cameo in the beginning of it. Ashley Judd. And then later on, when you obviously with the younger self, I don't think they'll get them all back to play the younger versions of them. They'll probably recast and put other actors. I don't think they'll bring all of the actors back to play the. That's first of all, that'd be a very expensive movie if you're gonna de-age all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money. I was just watching. Not to go off subject, but I recommend anybody if you haven't watched it yet. It's called Light and Magic. It's on Disney Plus, and it's a mini docu-series about Industrial Light and Magic and how they got started. And I really didn't know how much they have contributed to movie cinema, period. George Lucas needs to be celebrated at all costs all the time. Because no, I'm serious. Every day. Because this dude created obviously Industrial Light and Magic. And put it like this, from Industrial Light and Magic, you have the birth of Pixar, because Pixar was actually a physical computer machine, like a processor that George Lucas thought of and Industrial Light and Magic made. And from that, he sold it to the company that became Pixar. He sold the name as well. They wanted to keep the name. So he sold this piece of equipment and the rights to it or whatever to the company that now we know as Pixar. That came out of George Lucas' camp. Adobe Photoshop came out of George Lucas' camp because one of the dudes that worked at Industrial Light and Magic went on to create Adobe Photoshop. I mean, and the list goes on and on. You got directors that came out of that, when you had the dude who he used to be like one of the producers of like the Industrial Light and Magic. He was like the director of whatever graphics or whatever. He decided he wanted to leave. What did George Lucas do? He paid for him to go to film school. Because the dude was like, I want to go and do something else. I might do this. I might do that. George Lucas says, why don't you go to film school? Go ahead to USC where I graduated. I'll pay for it. He paid for it. And what does that do?
His college ever, USC.
Right. Yeah. And then yeah, exactly. Right. But guess what? He goes on to make the movies. That's Joe Johnston or whatever. He went on to make the movies that he went to make, So I didn't even realize, even back then, Industrial Light and Magic did Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. I didn't know that they did that. They did that while George Lucas was off writing the next Star Wars film. So I did not know that. All these films that they did on the early side of things, including Star Trek. Obviously, one of the guys from Industrial Light and Magic went and did what was the other space joint TV show that they did. Oh my God, man!
They did The Last Starfighter.
Well, I know it did that, but this was a TV show. It was a pretty big TV show too. A space in space. What was that called? Name a couple of. Run off a couple of them, other than Star Trek.
What
Battlestar
Galactica?
Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica.
Yep. The one of the guys who was the main guy at Industrial Light and Magic, he branched off in between them doing Star Wars, and he went and did Battlestar Galactica. He actually created that or helped create it. Battlestar Galactica. He was a producer for it. It goes on, dudes, and you got to see how these guys were just a bunch of we already know about Lucas, Spielberg, Coppola. They had their own company. They were friends in college, and they've been friends since they were young, in college and stuff like that. Not just that. Everyone in Industrial Light and Magic was a bunch of dudes that all did something. They came together and did everything. And they made and created things from scratch and built their own camera systems and everything that they did to make those shots. They were smart enough to understand that instead of taking a model and moving it like this to make like you're flying, they said, no, we're going to keep the model still and move the camera.
Move the camera.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo. They were so smart to do that. So smart to do that. Oh, you got to watch it. It's called Light and Magic on Disney Plus. It is. I sat there and watched. It's like 5 or 6 episodes, and it showed all these people talking like Steven Spielberg, Cameron. They're all talking like, "Yo, Industrial Light and Magic is the ish, and I'll never use anyone other than them." You know what I'm saying? They did The Abyss. They did Terminator 2. They did like everything that was brought to them in between, because originally it was they were just created to do Star Wars. That was originally what it was. And then it's like, yo, we'll take on all his Star Wars films. And then it's like, let's do this in between. Because he's like, yo, it took me like a year or more to write a Star Wars film. So in between that, I didn't want them to shut down. So we let them start doing other work. And it's like, and here's the last thing I'm gonna say about it. There's Steven Spielberg's talking about he wanted to always do a Bond film, and he kept trying to lobby to do a Bond film, and he couldn't get it. He never got the call to do it. So Lucas says to him, "Man, don't worry about it. I got a Bond film. I got this thing called Raiders of the Lost Ark. Why don't you do that?" He gave him Raiders of the Lost Ark. Gave it to him. He said, just do that. You could direct that. And Indiana Jones was born. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That is just the...
Is Indiana Jones better than... saying that is Indiana Jones, at least in that time, was it better than any of the Bond films that had been made at the time?
At
I'm
that
going to
time,
say, yeah, it really is.
it depends, I guess, how you
At
look
that
at
time.
it. At that time, so that was what 80. When did Raiders of the Lost Ark
80,
come out?
81.
81. So what Bond
81.
film was came out around that time? What Bond film came out around 81? Huh? I'm
Well, you
looking it up
got
now.
you got I think Spy Who Loves Me is the best Bond film at that time. I didn't Moonraker is, but James Bond goes to space. Get the hell out of here. Not because of Star Wars is why you're going to space. But I did like The Spy Who Loves Me. I really like that movie. Damn, he beating the shit out of him.
So, but The Spy Who Loves Me came out in 81. Which Bond film was out around that time?
That came out in I think 70s.
No, I'm just saying if you're gonna say
81,
the question is
that
was Raiders or Indiana Jones Raiders, was that better than the
you already
current
had a bunch
Bond
of
film?
Well, no,
from
you
that
had
year?
because you had a bunch of Bond films out. No, you had a bunch of Bond films that had already been out, right? So I'm saying when Raiders of the Lost Ark came out, was it better than any other Bond films that were made at that time? At that point in time, I mean, I can't take Lost Ark and stack it up and get to a Bond film of today because today
No. We
doesn't
say for that
really.
time. So in 1981, For Your Eyes Only was out. That was the Bond
Way
film
better.
of yeah. For Your Eyes Only. Roger Moore was Bond in the 80s. He took over in 77. He took over in 77 and he went from 77 to 85 because A View to a Kill was his last film. So 81. So yeah, I mean, let's take that era from 81 because you had 81 with that, and then Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom came out around what 84?
Yeah.
Right? 84, 85,
Yeah.
something like that. So 81 is For Your Eyes Only. 83, Joseph mentioned it in there, Octopussy. Octopussy was
I like
in.
Octopussy was good.
Yeah, I like that.
Octopussy was good.
That was good. 84. That's 83, and 85 was A View to a Kill, which I like View to a Kill as well.
There's moments of that I do like.
Right.
The Eiffel Tower scene and definitely the Golden Gate scene at the end. Those two are.
Yeah.
But like For Your Eyes Only, I think it sucks, except for the whole thing when he's skiing and being chased on the bobsled. But overall, it sucks. You know, I do like The Spy Who Loved Me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Moonraker was so. Live and Let Die was pretty good.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, overall, I mean, Spielberg was trying to do a film, and instead he does was, like I said, at all the other Bond films we made. I think it's better than any of the Bond films that were made at that point in time. Oh damn, he's trying to kill him.
Yeah, you could. I mean, yeah, some people would say. I mean, Indiana Jones was something fresh at the time, and he was, it inspired a lot of other type of films too. I loved it.
Man just had a hat and a whip. That's all he needed.
He had a gun too. Remember, he shot that guy. One guy that day swung his sword like 50 times, and he just shot him. Bang! And just put his thing. All right, that's that. But Indiana Jones is good. He was charismatic. He was funny. He was a great character. The fact that George Lucas just gave that to Spielberg, like, you could do that. You were, since you're not getting called for Bond, do this. So good job there. Good job, yeah. So yeah, man. Before I guess one of the things we'll wrap it up with is, so the two trailers dropped pretty much the same day. You had a trailer for Marvel's Secret Invasion, starring Samuel L. Jackson, and then that was for Marvel, and then you had the trailer today just dropped for DC's Blue Beetle, starring, I don't want to butcher the young man's name, but it's the kid from Cobra Kai. He's in Cobra Kai. He's got a weird name. Yeah, that's him. He's the lead in this film. George Lopez is in it. He plays like his father or whatever. But this kid is the lead. He plays the lead character, Jaime Reyes, which is, the character who becomes the Blue Beetle. I'm gonna say this. We all know that Secret Invasion is a series, and I'm sure it's gonna be probably overall really, really good. Maybe, probably better too. But I do like, trailer wise, I enjoyed the Blue Beetle trailer more than I did the Secret Invasion. I liked it though. So this series is gonna be like what it seems like this series. Well, I don't know what. Oh, that's funny. I said this series, and then Siri actually started talking. But anyway, this series was, it's gonna be what I think Agents of Shield, what they would have did if it was under the MCU umbrella, so to speak. Because number one, Nick Fury is pretty much the star of this series. This is his series, right? He's doing Nick Fury type of stuff in it, But it's also this series can be pretty much like almost directly from like Captain Marvel, like, because it has scrolls in it. Obviously, the scrolls are the main drivers and stuff of this. So you get to find out in this series how many people, you never know who is a scroll, because they could impersonate everybody. Remember at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, you found out that Nick Fury in that whole film, he was a scroll. That wasn't even Nick Fury. That was Talos the Scroll. You know what I'm saying? Impersonating Fury was in space. Fury was up in space, chilling. So, which is cool. What you saw in WandaVision when at the end where they had one of those scrolls come there and summons Monica Rambeau. She's like, oh, he wants to see you. Well, where is he? He's in space. She points up to the sky. So, all of that stuff is connected leading up to this type of stuff for Secret Invasion, right? Good. It's gonna be a great series. But I enjoyed the trailer for Blue Beetle. I thought it was cool. It revealed everything it needed to. You don't really know what's going on in the story, but they had to reveal what they had to, because a lot of people don't know that character. It's a character that's obviously, if you're a comic reader or a comic fan, you're gonna know the character. Average person, unless they watch the cartoons like Justice League Unlimited or the either Justice League Unlimited or Teen Titans, you won't know. Then you'll know who it is. So I did actually, y'all can check it out on the channel. I did a reaction video to it, and I kind of explained real quick what who the Blue Beetle is, the type of character. So he is a Mexican character, probably one of the first, if not the first, Mexican superhero in a major comic brand or whatever. The character has been around for years. There have been other people, other people that's been that character, but basically the character has there's this alien based technology in the form of a scarab that where the powers come from, and that scarab will choose a host. He's like Iron Man meets Venom. That's pretty much what he is, because the scarab talks to him, and they have a psychic link, and the scarab is like on some old if you act like you gonna be hostile towards me, I'm gonna shoot you. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll make him like pull up some sort of weapon and shoot at that person because the Scarab has a mind of his own as well. So so we're gonna probably get some of that back and forth banter that you get from Venom and Eddie Brock, right? And then you got but it's technical based like how Iron Man is too. It's very technical.
Mm-hmm.
It scans people, and you can see, it identifies people. So the technology is computer based, like an Iron Man type of deal. But it talks to him. It talks to him like, yo, no. He's like, no, don't do that, don't do that. No, I have to protect you, type. So it's gonna always protect the host, even if he don't want to be protected. It's gonna do like an automatic defense system. You know, yeah, but his powers, he's one of the more powerful beings in the DC universe. He has flight, super strength. He can create weapons. He could almost like it's funny. It's like the creating weapons part. Like I said, Iron Man. Iron Man has different weapons that he can do from nanotech or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like whatever he thinks, though, he could create a weapon. From that. It's like I said, it's alien technology. So when you throw that in, you think about the Green Lantern. So it's like Iron Man meets Venom meets the Green Lantern, because the Green Lantern with the ring is whatever you think and you could create it, right? That's how that works with the ring. It's kind of like that with him in this suit. He's very powerful, but obviously he's a kid. The new host, Jaime Reyes, he's a kid, and he has to learn how to control and coexist with the Scarab, so it's very interesting. I think it's gonna be an interesting film. It looks way better already to me because they're like, oh, it's like a family film, because like his whole family you see in the trailer, they all know who he is. They all know that he's the, because he transformed right in front of them, against his will. The Scarab forged itself to his spine and then put him in the suit. So right out the gate, it's gonna be better than like Shazam to me. You know what I'm saying? If you want to talk about family stuff. You saw Shazam too, right? You saw that already.
I haven't. No, I didn't see it.
You didn't see it? Yeah, it was okay.
No,
it was just okay
it's
to me.
already coming to DVD in like a month.
Yeah, it's coming in a month. Yeah,
like a
so
month.
you might as well wait. Yeah, I saw it right.
That's a bad sign.
I saw it already. Right, I saw it right as it was going out the theaters, pretty much. And it has some. It wasn't that good to me. I mean, I don't like the way he plays Shazam, even though yes, Captain Marvel, aka Shazam, is a child, Billy Batson, on the inside, but and Billy Batson is but he just plays like super immature child, even when he is Shazam. And yes, I can get it. He's a kid. So his personality doesn't change when he becomes, but after right now though, I think that should have been more for the first movie. You are now in the second movie. You've been saving lives. You've been a superhero for whatever many times, years, whatever, a whole year, whatever it's been. You now kind of getting the hang of it. You're gonna have to mature. Now you're talking about saving people's lives, saving this. You're gonna mature a little bit, So that you have to still maintain the secret of your identity and your family's identity for their sake, so they don't get, in trouble. No one goes after them. Exactly. I just thought it was, he plays the character a little too immature, and of course they trying to get the laughs. So okay. I laughed a couple times in this one, but there's one scene in there that I said, boy, I tell you, Skittles must have cut them a fat check, because they literally did a whole Skittles commercial in the middle of a movie. Like basically, they integrated it into the script. That's called, for you people out there, you filmmakers out there, try to find someone. It's called product integration. It's when there's product placement where you see somebody pouring a bowl of Frosted Flakes. Kellogg's cut them a check to put that in there. Then there's product integration where they eat that bowl of Frosted Flakes and say, "Oh my God, this Frosted Flakes is good." Right? That's product integration when you put them into the script, and they pay even a bigger check for you to do that. There's a scene in there and whatever where basically it's like it's in the third act. It's in like the climax of the movie, and they end up having to use a unicorn of all things. That was where these mythical creatures was running rampant in the city, and then they like, oh, there's a unicorn that's summons by there, and they're like, oh. Long story short, they said the unicorns can be swayed if you have ambrosia, something sweet, some sort of sweet nectar thing. This woman pulled out a bag of Skittles to give to the unicorn so they could control it and ride it and take it, whatever, to help kill the other mythical creatures that was going on. That's stupid, by the way, anyway. But anyway, she gave him a bag of Skittles. He stops in his tracks and starts eating the Skittles. And the little girl leaned down and said, "Taste the rainbow." You see? She literally said, "Taste the rainbow," and said it with a whisper and everything. I said, yo, they just did a Skittles commercial in the middle of the third act of this blockbuster movie. I said, Lord, Skittles must have cut them a nice check to do that. Taste the rainbow? And then when they was riding the unicorns to, in the final act where the heroes are coming to save the day, the girl even yelled it again. She said, "Taste the rainbow, bitches." Something like that. Wow. She said, "Taste the rainbow, bitches." I said, Lord have mercy. Yeah, I thought that was just stupid, but it was funny at the time. And shout out to our girl Bridget. She never made it on our show yet. Bridget is one of the actors that was in the Candy Shop. She's also a stunt performer. I've been trying to get her back on. She was in Shazam. I saw her when I was watching it. I was like, oh, because she's an actress, but she's also, how the stunt performers are still actors. So they get they get opportunity, just like our boy David Chen. They get opportunity to be in it and play a character as well as him doing stunts on it. So she played like a FBI or not FBI, like a SWAT agent during one of the scenes, and I saw her. I'm like, oh, it's Bridget. That's what's up. She got a good look in it too. So shout out to her. Hopefully we get her on the show because she has she's down here in Atlanta and she's got a lot going on. She's been in a lot of films. She's in Blue Beetle that's coming out. She's in that as well. Yeah, she says she's I forgot who she says she plays in this, but obviously she did stunts on it. But she also got a scene. She said, provided it didn't leave it on the cutting room floor. She, hopefully she's saying her scene is in there. So shout out to her, man. But that's pretty much the gist of it, man. That's pretty much the end of it. I think next week I'm gonna try to get another guest on and we go from there. I think we need to start planning I want to start planning the theme song, movie theme or whatever it was, the theme song tournament. All right. Yeah. Did we mix them together or we? Yeah.
No, we're keeping it TV shows.
We're keeping TV shows. Okay. TV show theme songs. Yeah. We need to start planning that, putting it together, going through lists, comparing notes, and getting it all together. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good to me. That'll be our next big tournament. There's so many of them theme songs. I know you were already doing some preliminary stuff on it, Ralph.
I had like 40. I had like 40. I think I have 46. That I had 46.
Yeah. If you can get an opportunity to share your list with me or me and Kev, if you should put it in the chat room or whatever, or email it, then I can do some I could do some research on my end because I'm sure, when you got all three pairs of eyes looking at it, we could come up with, oh, what about this? What about that?
Yeah, because there was some
But
things like I said. I think we had a discussion because I said I wasn't sure if we were going to include instrumentals, and then you said, yeah, we got to include instrumentals. Because then that was like
because then you got, you got to include things like Taxi. That's instrumental.
Well, with that being said, I would say I got one instrument. I think it's gonna be hard to put out. It's Mission Impossible. I think that's right now. I think it's gonna be the hardest song to kick out. I mean, the beat because.
Well, I mean that's definitely a Knight Rider. That's an instrumental.
Yeah.
Knight Rider is an instrumental. Mission Impossible. There's a few of them that are instrumental.
Yeah.
Star Trek is an instrumental theme song. There's so many. Yeah. There's so many that's still out there. That's Magnum PI. That's a instrumental theme song. Very noticeable song. Night Court. Yep.
And shout out to some channel on Night Court, the entire weekend, the original Night Court. Shout out to you.
Oh, they showing the original one now.
Show used to make me laugh.
Yeah, because they got a remake.
I forgot how hard. I tried to watch it. I just like.
Yeah. Joseph says Baywatch. Did Baywatch have lyrics on it, or was it just an instrumental?
It had lyrics, but I didn't. I don't think I even put down Baywatch.
90210. 90210. Beverly Hills 90210. That was instrumental. No lyrics. By the time we got to the late 80s, 90s, they started going away from lyrics.
Yeah.
They started putting more into, Heart to Heart. That's another one that had, no lyrics. They started doing more as it went through the 80s. We started getting a little more just instrumentals, not theme songs. The earlier, the 70s and early 80s, you had, they felt like, and even before then, the theme songs had to have lyrics. And early in the years, from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, the theme songs had to pretty much explain to you the basis
what was
of the
going
show.
on with the
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, the basis of the show. The Jeffersons, we're moving on up. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much showing Good Times. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much gave you an idea of what the show was about. Gilligan's Island exactly told you what the show was about. Brady Bunch told you exactly what the show was about. Different Strokes told you exactly what the show was about. So, you know what I mean? So that's how it was with theme songs back then. Then it started going into, well, let's have some just instrumentals, Barney Miller and like we said, Taxi. Taxi had a song that became a popular, that was a popular song on the radio. I used to listen to that on CD 101.9 all the time. Yeah, shoot, I love that song. Yeah. So we'll go with that. Only thing I think it depends on how we will not run out of we won't run out. There's so many others we can use. We'll find them. But Happy Days talks about, the show. Like those shows were, those theme songs were like that, Cheers. You want to go where everybody knows your name. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be a hard out too. That's gonna be a tough out. You want to sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. That is a tough out.
I'm gonna actually tell you what I think it's gonna be a real tough out. And don't ask
this
me
one's
why.
gonna be
the only one.
It's gonna be real cutthroat,
People's
Ralph.
Choice.
That's how you like it.
The theme to the People's Choice. I think that's gonna be a really tough out because as soon as you hear, you like, I know what that is. I just know what that is.
You mean the People's Court?
Yep.
The People's Court. Do.
Yep. There you see.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be a lot of them. That's you're gonna be like, oh man, Charlie's Angels theme. You know, yeah. That you got the Incredible Hulk. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. You got the Incredible Hulk. There's so many of them. Silver Spoons. That had a theme song he was singing in. Too Close for Comfort. Another one that had was there was those come and knock at our door. Three's Company. You know what I'm saying? Come and knock on our door. Yeah. So anyway, it's gonna be a lot of them. So send me your list so I can start adding to it. Because that way we're not doing double the work. You send me what you thought of.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you. I got it down on paper out. I put onto a
because we got about 20
I put it onto
songs
onto a Word.
Yeah. Put in a Word doc.
I think I got like 46. I think.
Right. Yeah. So we basically need about a little less than
46 so far.
Right. So we were like 18. A little less than 20 because it's 64. Right. So we need about 18 songs.
Yeah.
Right. So there you go. We could definitely find 18 more songs. Theme songs that are worthy to be in there. And I think we could. At first, I was thinking because I don't think you didn't count cartoons, right? And I don't think we have to. There's so many shows.
I actually had to reconsider that one.
I thought about it too.
I felt that the Flintstones theme song, and but I said if it's gonna be a cartoon, it had to be a cartoon that was in prime time. It can be like a Saturday afternoon cartoon like Flintstones and Simpsons, right?
Simpsons,
I guess you could say Family Guy, but I think the Simpsons is much more.
I mean, Simpsons is iconic, man.
And not for nothing.
Prime time.
This is my quandary because if I'm gonna consider prime time the theme song, what about this from Monday Night Football? Are you ready for some football? I mean, do we count that one?
It's not it's a sports show, so I could leave that out. I could have it either way, but I would leave that out because it's a sports show. It wasn't a show that we sit down and watch. I mean, you know what I mean, like a scripted series, show.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean.
Because it was done by a popular artist, and because it is now very, very recognizable. Are you ready for some football? Do you?
Yeah, but I think when it comes from a sports standpoint, the other song that doesn't have any lyrics is more popular. Monday Night Football.
But it was never prime time.
Monday Night Football. That's prime time. Monday Night Football.
Yeah,
that's Monday Night Football. They had a whole thing on.
But that's the thing.
They had a whole thing on TikTok about that, where women were playing pranks on their husbands. They would play it. They taped themselves. They play that theme, and see the husband come running into the room. Like, wait a minute, like what's what? And they were playing pranks on them, like, wait, and they're like laughing, like, oh look, and then no matter where they are in the house, they come running into the living room. So, they were doing the same thing with kids with the show Coco Melon. The little intro of that show, Coco Melon. Coco Melon. Kids come running from wherever they're at into the living room. Like, my daughter was the same way. So I don't know. I think based on what else we can bring to the table, that could be in or it could be out, as far as I'm concerned. Because that could be in or out. And I don't think we'll need to dig into the cartoon bag. Like you said, if they're prime time like The Simpsons and Family Guy, that's a prime time show too, and it is a popular song. A lot of people like it. They'll probably be some of the only ones that make it. I thought about but that wasn't a steady running show. I thought about the theme from Charlie Brown, but that wasn't a steady running show like every day or every night. The Peanuts.
And we can't be leaning towards these songs because the show is good. It's strictly
No.
got to
I mean,
be about.
no. It's got to be because of the theme song, and when you hear it, you know exactly what
the
it's
theme
from.
song.
Right. So that's what I meant by
Right.
like the Peanuts. Charlie Brown. Do 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 do. I mean, it's very very popular, but Charlie Brown was more of a special. It didn't come on every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I would leave it out.
No, but that still counts because that would have you coming into the room as a kid when we were kids. That had us coming into the
If I
room.
heard that,
That's true.
my behind was coming into the room. Do do do. Yeah,
you know what? That's from the Christmas special, and when I'm at work and during Christmas they play that, and I just think about I could literally see that in my face.
Happening.
Like, no
You don't even have to look at it.
I can actually
TV.
see it happening.
You just know.
You just know what it is.
You just know what it is. I mean, that is a very, very, very popular theme song. Very popular theme song. Like you said, you don't have to even look at it to know imagine what was going on.
I mean, all of them should count, whether it's cartoons, whether it's TV, or it should count. If it's a part of television, it should just count. It shouldn't matter whether it's a cartoon or not because it's popular. It's something that it's like the Scooby Doo song.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's very popular.
Underdog.
Very, very, very popular. That like you said, Scooby Doo song very popular. Thundercats. You know what I'm saying? Like people knew that. But I think we have enough cartoons to do our own cartoon one. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm just saying.
Yeah,
like,
that might be something.
I think
that
the
might
cartoons.
Be
I was trying to
look
keep them
into
out
later
of it.
on.
Right. I was trying to keep the cartoons out of it because I literally think there's definitely enough cartoons for us to do a cartoon theme song.
Yeah, but that list will be small for the cartoons.
No, I don't think it would. If you really like, I'm sitting there right now. I'm thinking like you said, Thundercats, He-Man, Transformers, G.I. Joe.
Smurfs. The Smurfs.
That was not for nothing. The Looney, and then you can go with which version of Looney Tunes you want to go. The Bugs Bunny Roadrunner show, or you go with what's that? Muppet Babies. I mean, you got a bunch of
Animaniacs.
What's that? Super Friends.
Super Friends.
Like when you hear it, you know what it is.
The Batman Batman animated series. That's a big. That was a big one. Batman itself. Yeah. Well, Batman itself would have to be in our tournament. Batman has to be in our one now.
That one is in our tournament.
That's gotta be.
I probably wouldn't put Batman. I probably wouldn't put Batman the animated version because that's really from the movie. They took a piece of that and put it in. So I can't really count that one. Because that's really Danny Elfman from the Batman movie. Same thing like Star Trek: The Next Generation. I can't put Star Trek: The Next Generation into the art TV thing because that comes from the film and they just took it and used it for a TV show. So I can't count that one.
But you can count the original Star Trek.
The original one, yes. You
can
count
that's definitely
Voyager or DC9, but the Next Generation's theme, I can't count that because it comes from a TV it comes from a movie and they use that for the television show. It wasn't like the reverse with the TV and made it into the movies. Awesome.
Yeah. And then you go and with those cartoons you mentioned, that's just really our era. Then you got to think about SpongeBob SquarePants. You think about what's the other one? The Fairly Odd Parents. You know what I'm saying?
Gargoyles.
These are all like even the ones that's a little bit past
Jimmy
our era,
Neutron.
but Jimmy Neutron, Johnny Bravo, all of these different people, Richie Rich, Richie Rich had a theme song. There's a lot of them. There's enough. I believe we have to dig in our bag. But between then, you're talking about a lot of years of cartoons, because every cartoons have theme songs, and popular cartoons have them.
Yeah.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, that's a popular theme song. Go Power Rangers, Captain Planet, like all these different ones. There's like different, the Inhumanoids, the Herculoids. Like you can just keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like all these different, a Space Ghost. You know what I'm saying? Like, they all had like these theme songs to them.
Duck Dodgers. When Duck Dodgers came on that little bit of time, I used to watch that.
DuckTales. That's a hard out right there. DuckTales is a hard out, baby.
That's a very hard out.
That's a hard out, man. Life is like, oh man, forget about it. Here is Duckburg. These cars, lasers, aeroplanes. It's a duck blur. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Right, Joseph. We didn't even put in. We didn't put in. Galaxy Rangers. What you call it? What's the one? Fighting
like
crime.
You just said, Inspector Gadget.
Inspector Gadget. What's that one? That's Mask. My mask. Yeah. That shit was fire too. Yeah. Secret Rangers.
Albert. I think that's another tough. That'd be Fat Albert's thing.
Albert.
That would be a very tough.
That
would be a very tough out.
Oh my God. Yeah. We can.
And if we're gonna go with that, if we're gonna go with like stuff, then you gotta put the thing song to Sesame Street. It's not a cartoon, but Jesus.
Oh my God.
You gotta add that.
Jesus. Yeah.
We
got enough. Whenever you hear,
the Electric Company, Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, all of them joints, man. Like Spider-Man is another cartoon theme song. The one from that one that was on Fox.
Something?
That Spider-Man theme song.
But
Spider-Man.
But you know something?
Spider-Man.
No, not that one. That one.
Nah,
that one
I
was
think you gotta go with the
annoying.
original.
We gotta go with the original. That's the annoying.
The original.
We gotta go with the original, of course, which is
the
Spider-Man one that we all know about.
But you know something? If I'm gonna do that one, you know what? I think you also gotta put into. I think you gotta put into Schoolhouse some of the stuff from Schoolhouse Rock, like I'm Just a Bill. No,
but see, the thing is, those are songs. They're not theme songs.
But it's a cartoon.
But they're not theme songs. Those are just songs, that you learned from. Their theme song is Cinnamon Schoolhouse Rock. But that's all. That's their theme song. That's it. They only say a couple of things. You can't use that. That won't be right.
Bill get gypped. Bill's getting gypped.
Gonna be a loss someday.
Yeah.
And I pray that I will. Yeah, it's a dope song, but that won't be a theme song. But we got so much that we can mess with the cartoons. Hell, from Saturday morning alone, you're gonna get a whole bunch of them. Then you talk about the weekly ones, like we said, Transformers, G.I. Joe, stuff like that.
Do they even show cartoons on Saturday morning?
Nope.
Now you mean? I don't think so.
No.
None. I don't think they show any now.
All the stuff that we listen. No more cartoons. No Soul Train. No American Bandstand. No martial.
I don't understand why they would. I don't understand why they would get rid of. I don't understand why they would get rid of Soul Train. Like that's that. I mean, a show like that. I think people would still. I guess they don't. That's why they got rid of it. I'm like, I think people would still watch something.
But wait. Now I got that question. We're talking about TV theme songs. Do we add Soul Train?
Yeah,
we could.
I have to say,
if we add Soul Train, I'm gonna try to get, even though the original song, but I'm gonna try to get Try to get my man Freeze to come up because he composed a version of the Soul Train theme later on down the line.
The one that Naughty did.
I don't know if that's the one Naughty did. Nah, because I think Freeze sang on it too. But I don't know if Naughty was rapping on it. It was a version. It was during the time of like when Shamar Moore was hosting it. Yeah, it was around that time. So I mean, we get him up as a special guest. Yo, Freeze, what's up, man? You composed the Soul Train theme. you know, it's just a version of it. The original is still the same, but yeah, man. I guess we could. I guess so. I guess Soul Train came on weekly. Came on every Saturday.
American Bandstand.
So yeah, they came on. So I mean, these are things that we could add in there, because those were shows, those type of shows. Yeah. So we'll make that 62 easily.
Yeah, Showtime at the Apollo. Yeah. We all know that song.
Yeah. We'll make that. We only need 18 songs to make the 62 because you already got 46. So
yeah,
we need 18 songs. All right, cool. Then let's send me that list as soon as you can. We'll get on that.
All right, I guess I have by the end of the week. I haven't seen by the end of the week.
All right, man.
I'll give it to you by the end of the week.
Everybody else, man, thank you for joining us. Joseph, what's up, man? Thanks again for holding it down. He was like the theme from Showtime at the Apollo. Good call.
Wait a minute, Joseph. Joseph, hold up, Joseph. Why do you hate the Smurfs? He says I hate Smurfs. How could you hate Smurfs?
He said he hates Smurfs. What are you, Gargamel?
I'm like, what the hell? No.
What are you, Gargamel?
Like Brady Smurf, and Sneezy Smurf, and Papa Smurf. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I wish Siri would. I'm gonna have to turn Siri off. I wish Siri would stop talking to me, yo. Every time I'm trying to say something and Siri freaking jumps in. I didn't get that. I wasn't talking to you.
Siri, tell it, Siri, play the theme song from Showtime to Apollo. See if it plays it.
I'm sure it will.
To see if it plays it.
I'm sure it will. I mean, I should say Siri play the theme song from the Smurfs. But yeah, he said he hates Smurfs. That's funny. You must be Gargamel.
Oh man.
Joseph.
What the Smurfs do to you?
That's funny. Someone asked me one thing, we're about to end the show, but somebody asked me this one question that I couldn't answer. They was like, what the hell was Gargamel going to do with them Smurfs? Was he going to eat them? Why did he?
Yeah.
Is that what he wanted to do?
Yeah.
Yep.
You're going to eat little blue people.
Yeah, he was going to eat the little blue people. Yep.
Yeah, because he always had like a pot, right? He was going to put them in a stew or something.
Yeah. He's going to make them a stew.
That's just nasty. You want to eat the little blue people. You know they people too. You know they little blue people. You want to put them in your pot and eat them. Jeez.
Well, technically they're not. Well, technically they're not people.
But they're Smurfs. Yeah. Right. They're little blue creatures. Right. That talk.
That can go ow before you go ow.
Or can scream bloody murder when you drop them in that hot ass pot. Scream, ah!
But I would think that I think he brains them and he kills them before he throws them in the pot. Or he might just throw them in the pot alive. No, it's Gargamel.
Right, so it's like crabs, man. It's like lobsters, man. You throw them in while they're still alive, and then you cook them. That's so torture. But that's pretty funny. He was like, "What the hell, Gargamel want with these Smurfs?" I'm like, "I guess he wants to eat them." I don't know. Interesting. So we'll get on that. And thanks everybody for coming through. Everybody watch it. Everybody's gonna watch it. Make sure you like. Make sure you share. Make sure you comment. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Share this again. Share it with your friends, and put it out there. And that's it, man. I'm the director, and this is the Jedi Council. You watch it, Real Talk, with the director and Jedi Council, and we'll catch you next week. Peace.